just a bloke in a bar.
You're a lawman?
I think I could be.
I don't think so.
Don't you have an issue with like being manly? Like
No, I do. I definitely do have an issue with masculinity generally.
You wouldn't know how to ride a mower either.
Well, no, mate, that's actually where you're wrong because I've had a ride on since I was a fucking pup. We had a ride on in Barrel.
Oh, what, the help didn't do it?
No, the help didn't do it down there. Couple of acres. Used to sit on Dad's lap getting around, and then when he got, I got to the right age.
Oh, it was one of your best, Eddie. It's one of your best.
He threw me out there.
Well, fucking hell.
Yeah.
We all know.
Mate, I come up tough.
All's fair in love and war.
tough, mate.
It is fair enough.
All's fair.
Mate,
Doesn't mean he's not a good bloke.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Except, man, he had help going.
Well, okay, look, that's
I wish
not...
I had help.
Yeah,
I wish I had help.
It was nice. It was nice. It was good.
You've got to lean into it. You can't lean away from it.
You can't deny your history. Things were good.
Hey, fuck, I always wish things were good when I was younger.
Well, once the
Can't begrudge a man had him good.
Fucking
once the
oath.
bank of mum and dad fuck off, you really do realise the value of it.
I used to love going around to my mate's house because he was rich, and I was always like, fuck, this is so hectic. Like, all the different foods, fucking hectic place, all the like Xboxes or PlayStations or Super Nintendos back in those days, good PC, nice cars, leather seats. Fuck, that used to be hectic having leather seats.
I remember a house was built in Dubbo that was 2 stories, and I used to ask the mum if the Queen lived there.
Holy
Because they had like
shit.
spires, like what are they called?
Turrets?
Like almost like turrets and shit.
Is that what they are? Or like
Spires or
Yep.
whatever. Anyway, wasn't the Queen in there.
I saw one of the great wastes of money from like a wealthy friend of ours, and it was like in their living room, the TV was like 15 metres away from the couches. So instead of just having a slightly different configuration or a different living room, they had the PlayStation controllers and all the cords run under the floorboards and then come up next to the couch. And I was like, this is fucking wild.
Far out.
That's
And a
decadent.
waste. I felt it was a waste, but I was blown away by it.
I'm impressed by the length of the cables.
Well, I'm assuming they got extensions.
They must have. Always wanted extensions on the 64 controllers. Fucking short those.
Yeah, they weren't long, were they?
No, they weren't long enough.
Basically, had to sit under the TV.
You basically had to. That's why you get square eyes doing
Square
that.
eyes. Yeah.
I used to believe that, eh?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like
well, there's a lot to believe.
And I'd be like looking in the mirrors, like, because I used to play a lot of PC gaming. I'm like, fucking, my eyes getting square, or it's just me?
They got a little squarer,
Yeah, maybe,
potentially.
arguably.
I don't know why that was like you get square eyes.
Was that a bad thing?
But why was that a bad thing? Maybe
Yeah.
I wanted square eyes.
Yeah, it's different.
Maybe I liked the shape.
No one wanted square eyes. No one wanted square eyes.
Could you imagine actually having square?
Oh, but you
eyes?
can't.
No, it'd be a fucking pain.
Imagine
in the
turning your eyes. They'd be digging into your sockets every time you.
ass. You reckon it'd be square back in as well, or do you just think it'd be like a weird?
Well, I'm saying if you had square eyeballs, Tom.
Oh, square eyeballs or square eyes?
Square
I
eyeballs
thought
in a
sockets.
rounded socket.
I thought sockets.
Yeah, I thought sockets.
Well, then you got. Well, I mean,
You got a box head,
You
we get box
eyes.
sockets.
Box sockets.
but it would because it would box your head.
You would
off.
be able to see.
True.
If you had a square sockets, you'd be able to see through past the eyeball. Because a circle in a square, there's like little.
Well, so you wouldn't be able to see through. You'd actually probably just have like some. You'd have some.
Oh, you'd be able to see.
Probably
underneath.
very
skins
weird
though,
shit,
like
yeah.
probably skin covering it, skin covering the gap.
I heard something the other day that apparently the eyeball is the brain.
What?
It's like
All one thing.
They're not separate.
Like, because they're connected.
Like it
Yeah,
is. It's
okay.
like it's the brain like coming out of
Like
the skull.
us seeing the brain.
That makes sense. The brain coming out.
That's
of the skull.
hectic though when
Yeah.
you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I can see your brain.
Yeah, you can.
Holy
I can see yours too. I can see into your brain as well.
That's
Sort of.
crazy.
Sort of.
Is that why I see sadness so much when I look into your eyes?
Oh. Whoa. Fuck, dude, I need to lie down.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot.
But yeah, what I reckon. Do you reckon the internet has like? I grew up like rich people to me were like, holy shit, there's a rich person. You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean? Like it was a fucking bear?
like it was. I didn't know any rich people. Like I didn't know any rich people.
How would you tell a rich person just down
the car they
street?
drive,
Okay,
like
okay.
outside of obviously
There's
my
levels.
best-
There's levels to it, though, right? Like
there's like
just
comfortable.
because. Well, it's just like you know, they probably weren't even rich. People that you thought were rich
that's a
growing
good
up.
point.
You know what I mean?
That's a good
If
point.
they get a waterfront in fucking Vaucluse like that.
Yeah,
That's rich.
Like,
That's rich.
You know what I mean? Are they a fucking billionaire with a yacht the size
Yeah.
of like
See, that's just
some
wild.
country towns? Like, there's levels to.
Do you think the internet though has taken away the mystique though, because you see it online all the time? It's kind of like, you know, beautiful people. When I was younger, every like 1 in 10 person was like, that's a beautiful person. Whereas like with surgery and everything like that now, it's like there's just a lot of people that are decent looking because of all the ways we make ourselves look better, whether it's
There's
face
still, but you still get that
There's still
1
levels.
in 10, like
Oh.
beautiful, like whoa.
But I feel like the average is lifted.
Depends where you are.
Yeah.
That's true.
It depends where you are.
That's
it does.
true. There's some where it's just not-
there are some parts of the world where the
Are you willing to name those
I
parts?
think coastal areas,
Yes.
whether that be regional, metropolis, cities, whatever, but the coastal areas, no disrespect to the people that live in the center of this great nation, but coastal areas is where it seems to be that the hot people flock.
Maybe it's also like city because a lot of country good-looking people do tend to go
You
for a
get out
better
of the
life
country,
or whatever.
you move to the city.
Like me when I was living in the country, like
You were the hot country guy.
I was a hot country guy,
You're the Gold Coast country 10,
and
then you move in
and then
and
moved to
you're
the city.
a-
I was a 1.
Well, that's what we're like. We've talked about this before. You know, you could be a country 10, and then you get to the big snake, and all of a sudden you
You're a
get
city
your
one.
fucking legs chopped out from underneath you.
It's like when you get into first grade, you think you're the man, you've towed up all the locals, and there's all other guns, and their guns as well.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're getting paid out about your boot cut jeans, and you're thinking, dear God,
And your boots,
happened?
and your
Where
boots
am I?
scooting.
Yeah.
You're
You know?
square dancing still, instead
I'm
of
just
crumping
doing
or
my
some
best,
shit.
and I'm no longer.
Was it my missus used to bag you out about your boot cut jeans?
No, have I told that story?
I don't know. I know you
I
told
got
me,
to
but-
like it was my first weekend. I went out in Sydney, and I remember. I probably know this guy now, but I don't know who it was, or I can't recall their face. But I was sitting there like talking to someone, and so I overheard someone go, "Who's that fucking loser over there in the bootcut jeans?" Because they were like tattered and like torn
Ripped
and
out
like
the
ripped at the
back.
bottom and shit. I remember walking home like so devo. And mum and dad were actually staying in Sydney that week, and like went back to the hotel room. It was like, you know, I was like, Mum, like I could go shopping tomorrow and shit. Like, went and bought
God,
new jeans,
these
dude.
boot cut
Yeah.
jeans.
I feel sorry for young Eddie. You're just
Yeah.
trying to make it in the big smoke,
Oh, yeah.
and you
Shit.
get torn apart by some fuckwits.
Yeah.
Look at you now, though. They're probably fucking losers.
Yeah, fucked a lot of you.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone back to boot cuts?
I haven't.
Maybe
mate,
bring
I'm
them back.
like-
Could Eddie bring boot cuts back?
Mate, I got like PTSD now.
You start like just wigging out when you see boot cut jeans.
Yeah, well, you don't see them as much as you used to.
I once when I was like 13.
I thought you were about to admit to.
boot cuts, no, but
No,
my
so
mum,
you've been that guy.
for at least my 13th year on this planet was rocking white flared jeans.
Oh shit! White flared jeans. Holy
Yes.
man! I
White flares, dude.
Mum got them for me.
How old were you?
13.
Yeah. Smack on.
White flared jeans, and
Were you playing that off an SMP belt?
Nah, I was playing. This is so rogue. I was playing it off of a shirt with with heaps of little cars on it, and
What do you mean, little car? Like what cars?
like little
Toy
like
cars
little
or match cars?
cartoon drawn like green and blue cars, like a button up shirt, and like Nike Tick shoes into flared white pants, white jeans, and I don't know why.
Where would you wear that to?
Fucking the movies and shit.
the movies was the best like place you could go as that
This
age.
is all you could have
Yeah,
at 13.
yeah,
I was like,
mate.
fuck yeah, let me rock my.
Fuck yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
Well, I remember like every time we'd go somewhere good, you know, like Arnie's fucking 40th or, you know, like some sort of special event. Mum would always put us in our Hawaiian shirts. And like I look back and I go, what the fuck was that about? What why is Hawaiian like
The thing.
la-di-da?
Yeah. Don't know. Were they
Bizarre.
matching you and your brother? Like same
No,
design, different
slightly
colour?
different. I look
Yeah.
back and I'm like, fuck, we'll get our Hawaiian shirts on in this photo. Like it must have been.
It must have been a
pretty
big event.
ritzy.
Mate, I was a champion in like a Sean John and Data rapper.
Oh, of course you were.
Eco United.
No, yeah, not
No,
Echoes.
that wasn't. That,
I had
Echo.
I had globes.
Echo.
I,
It wasn't as. That wasn't data. Dude.
Fubu.
Foob.
No, I never went Fubu, but I had like
Kappa? Is
Sean
there one like
John,
it's a
Sean John champion, and like Nike spray pants and that kind of stuff. And I had like Globe shoes that were white, but because we only get like one pair of shoes per year, I'd have this like white paint that like, but it was shoe paint. And they stayed so fucking white. But by the time the end of the year rolled around, they were like all cracking and shit because all the paint was on them.
Would you paint them?
Like, but it was with like shoe white paint or some shit.
Right.
And so
I've never heard of shoe paint.
I don't know. I can't even remember. But it's like a sponge thing and you would like press it hard and then wipe
like
it
shoe polish.
Yeah, but it was white with white paint.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. But there was like, I remember the black one that I'd use for my school shoes.
Yeah, and I would just smash it so they stayed white for ages. I remember actually, I've never been a hat guy, as you guys know. And maybe this is why, well, I'm not scarred, but because it's the opposite.
You've always
No, but this is the opposite.
Scarred.
So I remember there was
this,
I was at Little Athletics and there was like the hot chick that was like years older and I wore...
Yeah, we all had that.
And I wore a red Billabong hat backwards and she complimented me.
Oof.
I didn't take that off for like a whole year, but then it didn't really pay any dividends. So maybe that's why I was let down by the hat, thinking that hot girl said it was good, let me down, didn't deliver, and I haven't been a hat man since.
You remember how Fred Durst used to wear the red New York Yankees hat? Like Biscuit Fred Durst? I got one of those. Like I always wanted one. I fucking love Limp Biscuit. Got one from like an Easter show. But it wasn't one of those flexi fits. It was like, there's no give in this hat. And it was so tight for me, but I was desperate to look like Fred Durst. So I'd wear it and it would give me headaches all day because it was so tight around my head. I'd have to just squeeze it on. Mum's like,
I feel like I've heard that story.
You got to take this fucking hat off, dude. It's getting
Flexi fit was revolutionary. Changed the game forever.
Changed the game. All you fucks who
and
think
then people
you know
stopped wearing it.
Flexi fit. Well, it went out quick, but when it came in, it was cool as shit.
Fucking oath it was. If you had flexi fit, you were a dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Is there any brands back then that could make it back, like SMP, you reckon?
SMP probably not. I don't think
I'm
SMP
not
comes back.
I'm not at the coalface.
Globe's
Champion's still around.
Globe's still doing the damn thing, I'm
Is
pretty
it?
sure. Yeah.
I seen Champion the other day, and it's like, looks like it's killing it.
Champion, I don't know if Champion ever left.
Yeah.
Fubu and shit came and went.
Man,
Fubu, Data. Is there a Kappa? Am I making that up? Kappa?
Yeah, I think there is a Kappa.
But there is a Kappa, but it's...
I don't... Look,
It's
I'm
not
saying-
as like-
It's not as like...
hectic as the Data and the Fubu.
no.
The Fubu pants were the most ridiculous things.
Yeah, I had the Data ones with the big,
They were
thick
outrageous.
jeans. Big
Baggy
jeans.
as
Yeah.
fuck.
Early 2000s.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Baggy jeans, shorts. Do you ever get like baggy, like not sort of 3/4, just really baggy jeans shorts?
Yeah. I'd have a set of billabongs.
I bought the. I thought they were honestly. I thought they were the coolest. I think it was SMP. I could be wrong. I thought this was the coolest invention of all time. It was the zip off pants.
Oh yeah.
So you could zip the bottom off and they turn into shorts.
And you had shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Transition pants.
That's genius. It's genius.
Well, a pant for all seasons.
Yeah, for all occasions.
No, they're called shants.
Shants.
But the difficulty with the way they did it, and if they were thinking again, you'd almost have a double zip. You go around and then one down the side, because then you had to pull them off over your shoes, and you know what I mean? That was when it.
That was annoying. Yeah. But I thought it was genius. Absolutely genius. I bought them in like two different colours. And I wore them literally everywhere.
Cargo pants. I think cargo pants have made a comeback.
Cargo pants never left.
No cargo pants left, dude.
Cargo pants are pretty
Well, it
timeless.
depends who you're talking
But
about.
they went out of fashion. Cargo pants
don't-
were poonish, or if you were like a hiker. And then now I think they're making their way back to like streetwear.
I see girls sort of like, I think
You should probably see them now because they're making a comeback.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
But
well, they're making a
I
comeback.
haven't seen it on men.
I haven't seen, like, Ella's a fashionista. I don't think she was rocking cargos.
Did chinos
couple of
replace the
years ago. Cargos?
cargo pants?
Well, it's all cyclical.
Yes.
It's all cyclical.
Fashion's cyclical.
Like, you
the
remember,
weather.
we used to wear jeans so tight you could paint them on. They've
I
come and
did,
gone.
dude.
Oh,
End
fuck
of
yeah.
school,
I had
just
some,
out of school.
cheap Mondays, dude,
Cheap
that I had to
Mondays.
like...
They
They took me
Sabres?
half an hour to get on and off.
And they also
That's an
fell-
hour lost
But they
daily.
fell apart in like 3 weeks. They were cheap as fuck and shit.
I used to wear them with those little shoes, those like little slip-ons.
Cloth shoes.
Yeah.
God,
cloth
they didn't
shoes.
look good at all. You look
Dude,
back
that
at
was
and
a
you go,
bad
what?
look.
That was a
dude.
bad
With
look.
a
Bad look.
V-neck.
Oh, the
Stop
V-neck.
it, Edward.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, what was
That's
it?
not-
Was it nudies? That were the
Nudie.
good. That were the
Good
good
enough.
ones.
Nudi's still around,
And
I think.
Subi.
Subi. Yeah.
Subi's still...
But that was like $400 for a pair of jeans.
Yeah,
You'd
I
eat
worked
my
at General
ass.
Pants. I worked at General Pants in Sydney, Pitt Street.
Did ya?
Were
Yeah.
you one of those annoying cunts who's like, hey, can I help you out, man? Just
Nah.
want to see if you need anything. You're like, I'm good, bro. Fucking leave me alone.
I was the less is
Pop
more
out,
approach.
hey, can I help you out with anything? You're like, go away.
I was the less is more approach.
Okay.
And I was always on top, baby.
Were you like
Always on
dancing
top.
around like they all do? Like, oh, you sick, man. I'm dancing a fucking...
Nah.
Oi, man, have you fucking heard this song yet?
Oi, what festival are you going to, bro?
Times have changed. It didn't used to be like that. That's the new age general pants.
It's been like that for
Well, was that when I was
like
going
that.
there?
Yeah, I haven't been. It's been like that for at least 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was there in 2012, I think, working in
It was
Pitt
like
Street.
that. Whereabouts though? Pitt
In
Street?
Pitt Street, yeah.
Shit, dude. I reckon you would have been the only
I
one in there
reckon-
who's not dancing around like, hey, bro, how you
Dude,
doing?
you been a Splendor, man?
Hey, dude, I'm so scared. Fucking how good is it?
Fuck, I'm scared, dude.
Dude, you need help with jeans? You want some socks?
I wasn't
Fuck
scat then.
So the cross last night, man.
Sick.
No, I wasn't scat back then at all. I was quite.
You doing the robot around the?
Nah, because that's pretty scat. That's pretty scat doing the robot. That is pretty scat.
Do you ever are you a robot guy?
Nah, I've never dropped a robot.
Can you dance?
No, I can bop my head.
I think you can.
Nah.
That
Have you
pause-
got Have you got rhythm?
I mean, I'd like to think I do,
Can you
but
dance to a beat?
I don't look good dancing, but I don't look offbeat, if you know what I mean.
That's the best you can hope for if you don't dance.
That's
is
what
that
I'm
you can
saying.
At least hold the beat.
If you can at least hold the beat, you're right. You'll
I can hold the beat.
survive.
I can hold the beat.
Unlike others that can't.
You can't hold the beat.
No, not
No,
him.
I can hold the
I'm
fucking
saying if
beat.
you can't hold the beat,
Oh, you looked
you're
at
in
him.
fucking
You
desperate
did look at
trouble.
me.
You
I'm
do, others that can't. You went like that, literally. Check
I
the
mean,
tape.
Freudian slip.
Well, hey, you try hold the beat. I'm a drummer. I can hold the beat.
Oh,
so when it
fuck,
comes to my body just becoming an extension of the drum kit, I can fucking hold a beat.
Do you
Don't worry.
do like the drums?
No, I don't.
Do you, like,
But I don't
throw the
dance well.
stick up and, like-
I get told I dance like my mum, which isn't cool. Ooh, yeah,
Damn, who's watching you dance to seeing your mum dance?
my wife.
Okay, but your wife, she can be.
That's low from Steph.
yeah, that almost sounds like a
Is it
small
accurate?
hurt.
It's accurate. It's accurate. It's not far
But
off.
she should be pumping you up because now you can't just boogie with the missus.
Oh, no, because I don't care. I know what I am, and I embrace that. I dance like mum, or she dances like me. I dance like her.
See, when I met my wife, we boogied all the time.
Yeah, me and Steph boogied our
And
asses
I would hate for her to like take that away from us because there's a lot of boogieing going on.
No, you got a boogie.
And
Yeah,
You
but
gotta
that
boogie-
doesn't
you
mean
gotta-
Steph's not having fun.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
going, listen.
maybe she's having more fun because you look
I
stupid.
dance.
She's just going, listen, it just
who
so
knows?
happens
My
you
mum
dance
can
like
move.
your mum.
My mum can move. My mum's got rhythm. But obviously, me
Annabelle can move.
dancing like my mum,
I was gonna say,
not as cool.
Like, does your mum like twerk or like is are you
No.
twerking or?
No. It's all very just like
Because you said you dance like your mum.
yeah. She's not.
Yeah,
twerking.
but she's not a
What mum's
she's not a twerking vintage.
Plenty of mums are twerking. What?
This age, my mum's in her 60s. She's not twerking. Twerking is a 90s or
I don't know.
2000s thing.
Mate, 80s and 70s, that era.
90s? Twerking's not 90s,
2000s.
bro.
I said
2010.
You heard me say 2000s, right?
Yeah,
so
I
you
don't
heard
know.
the correction.
Maybe she likes to get down. Maybe she moves with the times.
Well, trust me, if I'm dancing like her, she don't, because I ain't out there twerking.
Imagine if you walked in on your mum, like
Twerking.
watching twerking videos, twerking.
Oh my god,
That would be hard. That would be definitely.
That'd be a lot to digest.
That would be like, because like, remember when Zumba and that came out? Even that was a little bit to digest initially, but now it's kind of like, yeah, Zumba, it's great.
Well, Zumba's come and gone, is it not?
Well, Zoom's still doing the damn.
No, I think a lot of mums like to dance to like to keep the cardio up because it's fun. Yeah,
Steph went to a hip hop class. I said this in our podcast.
You did,
I didn't
yeah.
talk to her.
she went to hip hop class.
Her and her friend went to a hip hop class.
She was popping and locking.
popping and locking.
She was popping and locking.
And they set up like a camera, her and her friend, to like film what they were doing in it. And I got my hands on it. I was like, this
Oh,
is
shit.
the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. They're like having to like, they look like they had like injuries and they were trying to roll around on the floor. Like, you know, if you get like sore knees and you're like,
yeah.
They were, you know, she can dance. Steph can dance. She's very good at dancing. But
Yep.
the hip hop class was awful. Shout out to Steph and Talia.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how white was it?
Oh, bro, it was white. It was white. It was very, very white.
Dancing, boogieing, it brings you closer. What is interesting is like thinking back to me having the confidence to dance like up to my missus or whatever.
Is that how you?
It makes me cringe.
Is that how you did it?
No, I
Like-
didn't. No, I didn't boogie up. But we used to go out and go to festivals, other kind of stuff. And whereas now, I just don't know if I have that in me.
No. Well, Eddie
that kind
was
of
in
confidence.
a dubbo dance troupe.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dubbo dance
Yeah, we
trip.
talked about this before.
Well,
I don't think
on
we
this
have.
podcast.
No. It all blurs into one.
Yeah, I was in the year 6 dance group. Yeah, fucking hell.
What were you called?
The dance
We
group.
weren't called anything.
It was like the dubbo. Something.
What dancing did you do?
We would do like, it was choreographed, obviously. We'd go to a Stedford.
Obviously.
Stedford's right. That's you go to like regional.
We go to regional Stedfords, like the Dubbo Stedford. I think we went to Orange, a couple of participation awards, maybe a third. I can't remember.
You jagged a third.
I maybe been very generous there with the third place, but you were you were marked favourably because it was all men, right? So it's like, you know, you'd get men marks.
So as in you were competing against chicks as well, but you were an all boys dance.
And obviously we're fucking worlds apart.
I've got a bone to pick with that because when I was coming through my school, you know, like gymnastics, usually women are much better at gymnastics and more flexible. They just seem to be better at it. We would get marked just as harsh as the girls in gymnastics.
Well, that's how it should be.
Well, yeah, fair. But then in other sports, like touch footy or whatever, there would be different grades. And I'd be like, how's that fair? How is that fair? But anyway.
Did you have in your dance troupe, and I swear you had a name.
Oh, I don't.
Okay. Well,
I don't think so.
Were you carried largely by one individual, and was that you?
No, it wasn't. His name was Josh.
Was he the coolest cat on the block too?
Josh was, if my memory serves me, he was like, he would get in trouble every now and then, Josh, but he was also a break dancer.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Are we talking Save the Last Dance kind
So
of
the
stuff?
man could move. So, you know, the crescendo, the zenith of the set, the performance was like, we would sort of make way and he would come out into the middle and like break dance. We'd be like,
what are the chances that we could get footage of this?
I'd like, if someone was in the Dubbo South Primary School all boys fucking dance group.
From what year?
From 2002.
Because they'd film this stuff.
If you got that page, send it in because I'd fucking pay big money for it. Anyway, I remember we were going to Orange, I think, for an Eisteddfod, and Josh wasn't coming because he was fucking up, and we were all like, Devo, like, how can we
Challenge
possibly
the big boys.
perform?
Yeah.
How can we challenge? How can we give it to the girls without the main act?
Did you say it's my time?
Did you step up?
Fuck no.
Step up.
Step
to
up
the
1, 2,
streets?
3,
I wasn't a step up to
So
the streets.
Step Up wasn't based on you, the movie.
Nah.
Our producer Tobler also Irish danced.
He did.
What?
And ballet? Or just Irish?
I don't know. I definitely know it was Irish dancing though. There's some footage. He has.
My cousin, true story, at a certain age was world champion Irish dancer.
So he comes.
World champion.
He comes from a long line of movers.
Yeah, and
Holy
shakers.
shit. So that's where you get the hips from?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Didn't
my
blood.
God. Holy shit. Now it all makes sense, that video.
Yeah, it's coming together now.
Yeah.
Fucking
we'll
oath.
put that video up just so people can see the hips
The
move.
cravat dance.
The hips do not lie.
Dude, we got a video sent us the other day, which I forgot to post, of a bride and groom at their wedding doing the cravat dance.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
In
hats.
summer tan hats.
On the wedding day.
On
She
the
got
wedding
fucking
day.
dress and
Oh,
shit
I
on.
think I might have seen that in your story.
We put it in the story. Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
So good. I didn't think I'd say that.
No.
That's when you know you're a rock star.
So you know your moves have gone. You know,
Viral-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viral-ish. Yeah. That's
viral-ish.
viral-ish.
What is viral-ish? Is that a new word? Did we just make up a new
Yeah, I think so.
word?
Viral-ish is when it's not
is
huge,
like
but it's not.
where, you know, you're seen by a couple of tens of thousands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tens of
Mate, you're
thousands.
sort of maxing at 100,000.
Yeah.
Viral-ish.
Well, in saying that, I reckon
Viral-ish.
there's like some things over 100,000 I wouldn't consider viral. I'd say viral is
true.
a mil now.
Yeah.
Sure. Half a mil.
Because like
Anything less of half a mil definitely viral.
Is viral-ish.
viral-ish. Is that
1 million's probably easier.
yeah, just cut her off at 1 mil. But yeah, viral-ish. It's not a knock on anyone either.
You just don't need cream to get rid of it. It goes on its own.
I quite like. I almost prefer viral-ish
Yeah.
because it's sort of you're kept more in the context of like people that know who you are.
Yeah.
If you get too viral, then people, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Well, who's this guy? But wow, he moves.
But where he moves.
Yeah, I think the world's lesser that they didn't get to see your moves. I think I would
cravat
like
dance.
it to go viral,
Yeah.
Oh, like probably like worldwide.
like worldwide viral.
Remember back in the day when if you went viral, you were like you would sort of stay viral.
Yeah, and you go like news.
Now videos
and
will go viral and people forget about them literally the next day, and that's it.
so crazy.
You go on with your life. You know what I mean?
Sort of, not really, but that's all right.
yeah, you go viral. You get
Like the early YouTube people that went viral, they're like
Had
they
channels
made
up
careers
off
and
it.
shit.
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Yeah.
You
So, like,
fucking get a
you made
TikTok
career.
video, get 1 million views, and then the next minute you go back to fucking
kinda
bacon
like-
bread.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
know what I mean?
like Big Brother contestants used to be a big deal. Now, I don't even know if it's still on.
Well, now they do just like the old big contestants on Big Brother again. Like
Yeah.
they just rehash them.
But like, remember when like they would get their own radio shows immediately after, and like
Fitzy.
they,
Oh, like you were
Fitzy and Whipper.
shortballed into
whatever
something.
you want. Yeah.
You know,
Whereas nowadays it's kind of like
just too
thanks,
many.
see ya.
Some people do well though. Some, but
There's a few.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
A lot rarer.
Man, Big
Lot
Brother.
rarer.
It's
Shout out to Greta Colleen, wherever you are.
is she still do it?
Nah.
Who does it now? Is it Sophie Munn?
Samantha Kruger, Sonia.
Oh,
Sonia.
Sonia Kruger.
Don't mind Sonia.
I'm happy with Sonia.
But Gretel's the OG.
Well, Gretel was Gretel.
She is the
Glenn,
OG,
right? Like,
and she had a bit of cheekiness about her. Gretel.
it's time to go.
Yeah.
Sarah Marie. Live crowds and shit. I think
Gretel could build drama.
Oh, we're the best of them.
fucking
She could build drama.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck
You know
yeah.
what? I'd love to hear like a footy finals promo by Gretel.
that'd be nice. What about Gretel and Maddie Nabes, like line for line?
Stop
Oh, bang. Imagine that. Like, Maddie Nabes opens it and you're like, oh, this is just like another
normal
Maddie.
one.
And then bang,
Gretel
out comes
Colleen.
Gretel. Fucking left field. You're like, what?
it. Fucking hell.
That'd get the crowd.
You know who else is endearing?
That'll bring the punters back.
Timeless person is the woman from Amy Insurance.
Bro, they've changed that chick like 10 times.
Really? Have they?
Looks like the same. I thought it was the same woman the whole time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dude. And I mean, 10 might be pushing it, but they definitely. I remember the initial Amy chick when they first started doing the Lucky You with Amy. It was like, this chick's beautiful and Lucky You with Amy. And then it was like, that's not the Amy I remember.
I'm gonna.
Yo with Amy.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. They've changed it. Have they changed the Amy chick? That's the question.
They had a lot of women in one, but I mean the.
No, I know what you mean, dude.
because like I swear this
Oh, they
is the
have
one.
changed.
Bro, they'd have to have changed. What do you think that chick's just fucking having,
I swear that's the
blood or
one the
whatever?
whole time.
Nah.
Nah.
Damn.
She would have aged. It's a good point.
Yeah, it's a fucking great
But like
point.
this woman's the one that comes up when you search it.
You should Google how many different Amy's have there been.
Who was the actor in the Amy ad? Played actors Mandy.
Oh, no, that's Rhonda and Couture. That's a different.
Oh, okay.
That was a very successful ad campaign.
Rhonda and Couture. Yeah, I believe so.
It was. It really was.
Who was Rhonda?
That chick he just said her name.
But Rhonda was she Amy?
She's like a proper actress. She's on like a.
Yeah, but what was she representing again?
She was representing herself.
As in,
What
as
was
in
the
what
ad for?
company?
She was on holidays or some shit.
What was the ad for?
Amy?
Oh, it was Amy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
Who do you reckon like the most recognizable voice is? As in, if you were sitting at a bar and you heard the EA Sports guy order a drink, he's like, "Can I order a drink?"
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Or you
I'd
heard
like a beer. Holy shit.
or the beep test guy. You know what I mean? Like who? The beep test guy.
We actually made our own beep test and we never released it.
Of course we didn't. Just like we didn't release the beep test.
Well, we did. That was meant to be in conjunction with the beep test video, which is with Tobler, which he should be editing, even though he's got a million different things to do.
Is that from like a year ago though?
Almost two.
No. 3, I think.
No, it was 2 or 3 years ago. I
think it was 3.
Still coming.
Imagine
But
being next
we
to
made
the
our
beep
own beep test.
No, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd kill it now because you're fit as anything because you're a marathon runner.
Yeah, no, I would now with my knees and everything. Great. But
Get more than
6, I think it was around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely get more than that.
6 not bad.
No, 6 is bad.
Not for a bloke that's not done anything.
Well, true. I was fucking fat then as
pretty
well.
much walking, but anyway.
I collapsed as well, basically at the end of it.
We did it after a
Huge
big night, and it was
Humongous
raining,
night.
and it was muddy,
What?
and it was freezing cold. It was the dumbest fucking. I was
Barefoot
thinking
on
about that the
grass.
other day. I'm like,
Why would you do
fuck
it?
Did we do that? That was so
Just
you know what?
slaves to
You know what it
content.
is?
But we didn't even release it.
Yeah, but that wasn't. We didn't know that.
When
going
you're
in.
at the start of not at the start because
We
you've been
are
around for a
slaves.
while, but you're more dedicated to the content. I think when you're first, like you're willing to do
I
more.
actually think we're just as dedicated. We just didn't release it. Like that's pure. It was too difficult to edit. It was like beyond the capabilities.
So would you
had.
just go over a massive Saturday night and then release something that might get a couple thousand likes or whatever?
I wouldn't.
I would weigh that up and go, it's not worth
I
it.
wouldn't do. I don't think I'd do it again.
I would. It's not that. It wasn't that fucking bad. Like it's pretty easy to do. You just do a beep test one day. I wouldn't. We didn't intend to do it after
I
a
was
huge night.
pretty fucking hungover.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be doing it after a big night.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying I wouldn't do that again, which
But
was
if we-
massive night into a fucking barefoot, pouring rain, fucking
test.
beep
With
test
our
in the middle of
missus
winter
watching.
with a crowd.
That's
live
so
crowd.
That is so committed to.
And we didn't release it.
No.
Stupid.
And
Everyone
we
hits
ate
us
just
up and
before
like,
we ran. Oh, I did. Shock horror.
Jesus. I remember when I first started, I used
Silly.
to think like, man, if I interview this person, it's just going to explode. People are going to love it, like a gal interview or whatever.
not how it works.
It's just not how it works. It's all about consistency over a long period of time.
Some people glow up quick. Hasn't
Yeah.
been the case for us.
No.
Yeah, but they usually have something already. Starting like nothing from something. I've
You're
never
probably
seen
not going
anyone
to
just
blow
go
up,
boom.
but like I'd say even a year is a quick blow up.
100%. 100%.
There are people
Like
who
in
do that.
Spider Employed blew up. They've been
Yeah.
doing it for a while, but like they had that 1 year where it just went
But
fucking.
weren't
But I think
they
that's
were
the
doing
difference
it
is that they'd been doing
it for
content for a
ages.
while
That's what I'm
beforehand.
saying.
So it's still like you are literally just opening your phone and for the first time going bloop bloop and then like something happens.
Yeah, they've been doing it forever. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. Brought to you by Budgie. Budgie's a perfect gift for your old man or yourself. If you're a father or Father's Day, head to budgiesmuggler.com.au. Use the Bloke code. So you type in Bloke, you get 20% off your entire purchase. That is going away Thursday. So that'll no longer be able to use that. So use code Bloke for your purchase. Anything on the Budgie site. We've got It's Better Than Lego, Budgies, the official Matty John's Budgies. You've got John's skateboarding down. You got all the footy budgies up there. You got Cheese. You got Toby Rudolph. So head to budgiesmuggler.com.au. They've also got the average rig as well, don't they, boys?
Australia's most ordinary rig.
Australia's most ordinary rig. Isn't it October? You're hosting the event?
October 29th. For details, go to budgiesmuggler.com.au. Follow the prompts, follow the details. But Tom and I will be hosting the event. We also want, more than anything, for the dribbler to win this to be a dribbler.
Yeah.
You know what
From
I mean?
our community.
From our community, from our ranks.
From our sacks, essentially.
It's
Yeah,
essentially
from
from our sacks. So if you listen to this, you think you've got what it takes, head to budgiesmuggler.com.au, fucking sign up and get ready to rip and tear.
And celebrate the average rig.
That's it, baby.
Celebrate the average rig. Also, tonight, Bloke jerseys, 6 p.m. That is Wednesday, 6 p.m. There is a limited amount. We also have sizes all the way up to 7XL. I doubt they'll be purchased. I want to see them. I haven't seen the 7XL
are out
one.
there, bro. There's a 7 out there.
But we have the sizes for the big fellas and just the big rigs.
A couple of blue whales.
A couple of blue whales amongst you.
The big rigs. So that is Wednesday, 6 p.m. tonight. And we already have our next year's jersey design locked in. And let me tell you, it's very different to this design. So if you want the OG design, be there tonight at 6 p.m. Also, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. We are in every single Celebrations, Bottle-O, IGA Plus Liquor and Porter's Liquor in New South Wales and ACT. We are also in our MIDI, our Bloke MIDI, the all-new Bloke MIDI is in every single Liquor Legends in New South Wales and Queensland. We've got plenty of stores across the eastern side of Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, ACT. Go to our website, you put in your postcode, it'll show you the nearest stockist. Now, let's get to some footy chat.
Let's
do it. Let's do it.
Oh,
quick.
fuck, here we go.
Here we go.
Quick. Let's get to it.
Chem curse.
Chem curse.
Everyone listening that fucking doubted us,
Told ya.
we told ya. I can spot a curse a mile away.
We're in. We're into it. Show starts. Kemp curse is real. The Kemp curse is real. The man refused to take his shirt off and pound muesli bars, and unfortunately we've seen the Brisbane Broncos tumble like Jack and Jill down a hill out of the top 8.
Yep. Yep. And I was watching that game on Thursday night and I just thought to myself, dear God.
Poor Denon.
Poor Denon. Where is
Also,
Denon?
Poor Brisbane, right?
Well, poor, like,
One of their favourite sons had an opportunity to save the season, and he's fucking didn't want to do it. Too busy sitting on piles of cash, probably, and just you know what I mean? Like, what's he doing?
Couldn't get down. Couldn't find a way down from the cash to pound music guys into the earth and save the club. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, he's made his decision. The club's cursed.
Yep.
You've missed the 8 from third, I think. And
Second or third. We were thinking minor prem.
well, that's the way it was looking.
That's what the conversations were.
So
I think yous are getting lost in the woo.
and are we?
I think you're getting lost in the woo.
No one else seems to think that.
No, I don't think so.
Everyone else is literally like, well, fuck,
Look, it's okay if there's a group of people out there that are falling for the distraction of Manly's terrible year that you were trying to put out there.
I don't think it's some people. I think it's the people.
The people.
The people.
The people know what's happened. You were 4th, and you're now 9th.
You know what's funny?
And you're getting humped every week.
Conceded 60, then 50. Did 100 missed tackles in 2 weeks or something like that? Is that what that was?
It's curse side.
That's curse stuff. You don't go from being a top 2, top side in the comp to missing 100 tackles in 2 weeks unless there's a curse.
Unless there's a higher power.
So what explains the fact that you, Manly, relative to last season, have had the worst year of any club in the comp?
Well, injuries.
And curse.
And curses.
I think
It was the curse of the jersey. We've been over this a million times.
So-
Jersey curse. We
what's
spoke about the
interesting-
jersey curse long before the
So what's interesting about
ideological jersey curse.
So, yeah, what's interesting...
was
part of the curse itself.
But I actually think that you got lost in the woo. We saw the video of you trying to do some spiritual, weird woo-woo
that's two
stuff.
guys who are trying to fucking turn
That made it
around
worse
with
for
their
you.
club.
It got worse. So have cursed your own club.
No, we tried to have a crack to save it. Obviously, the curse too powerful. We are comfortable to admit that we didn't necessarily possess what was required to overturn the curse. Yours was right there in front of you. Remove the shirt, pound muesli bars. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You were basically, it was like, the club's like, please, like, hand out, stretch, save us. And you just went, spat in their face.
I think you're getting lost in the word. You guys have had arguably, honestly, one of the worst seasons of Manly's history.
I'd say that your season's actually been worse. They'll remember the end of your season much more than they'll remember.
You sure? So you reckon that what you guys have gone through this year won't be remembered more than our...
Well, leave a comment. What's been the greater fuck-up? Manly's injury-riddled cursed jersey season or the Broncos' Jack and Jill tumble out of the 8 with like 2 games to go?
You really think that us falling out of the 8 is worse than the controversies your club has been through this year?
You had a finals, maybe top 4 spot locked up 2 weeks ago.
You could have won a comp this year.
In 2 weeks.
And you've tumbled out of the 8.
If you want to fall for this distraction, that's fine, guys.
You've tumbled out of the 8.
Manly have had the year from hell.
Disagree.
And on top of all that, we're still ahead of you.
You went from this amazing story of the Broncos are back to now like... You'll probably miss the finals again next year.
You've literally statistically had the worst. You've had the worst year of any club statistically compared to last year's position of any club in the NRL.
Yeah, because we're missing our best player.
Very best player.
Because you got lost in the woo, in my opinion.
Well, no, he got injured.
I think he got injured.
Yeah, whereas you guys had a full complement of stars.
Not to mention, there's some whispers coming out of Red Hill.
We said we'd been.
There's some whispers out of Red Hill that
we've been saying it for weeks.
Been
saying it for weeks.
Are they as bad as what your club has done off the field this year?
Yeah. Worse, actually. Much worse. Significantly worse.
And you might be like, you two dickheads are talking shit. We are not.
We've been saying this for weeks for a reason.
I tell you what,
we got the
if it's worse than what you've had to deal with this year, that's a sad state for the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's not forget, just as like a cherry on top, that your players allegedly, after getting humped 2 weeks in a row, were like, don't rip on us, coach. Don't give us some dressing down after we missed fucking 100 tackles in 2 weeks. That's not at Manly. That shit doesn't happen at Manly.
That doesn't happen at Manly.
No. Dress us down if you want.
Yeah. The club doesn't divide, the playing group doesn't get divided in Manly.
Nope. Not after a dressing down.
Not after a dressing down. Ideological, hotbeds.
Look, like there are dress-based divisions at Manly. I'll accept that there may be dress-based divisions.
Yes.
However, there's divisions at Broncos because you were undressed
by the coach.
You guys you have players literally publicly coming out and complaining. Publicly.
At least look, in some ways that takes a bit of courage.
Yeah.
To come out and fucking front the media and front social media and front the people and go, fuck it, I've had it up to my eyeballs. I actually respect that instead of lurking around in the dark.
The devil you know better than the devil you don't. Yeah. So it's better that you know that all the fucking, you get you're lancing the boil, as it were. Whereas the Broncos, it's all festering underneath.
You don't want it festering. It's like when you're having a fight with the missus. You just want to front foot it and go, let's fucking have it out then.
Yeah.
Let's have it out.
Yeah.
Instead of festering and tiptoeing and sleeping in separate beds and narking about and whispering in dark corners.
100%. If you're
finals and
absolutely,
shit, right?
like if you're in a relationship, go public with your issues. Absolutely, that's what you should do.
Well, no, you bring them out.
Bring them to the forefront.
100%.
Post them on Instagram.
Fucking oath. Let the people know where you're at.
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
Oh, okay. Look, if you want to get on board the distraction,
how do you feel about tumbling out of the 8?
How do you feel about
No, devastated.
I've never seen a bigger tumble.
I've also never heard of a quieter Kemp than this week. We haven't been able to see him. We haven't heard from him. He hasn't responded to anything. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? I think he was worried about the curse actually being real, and he's like, holy shit, now I am the cause of this club's
if you want to enjoy, if you want to
read more than this,
if you want to be manipulated by Hello Sport and be distracted from Manly's terrible season, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we are still above you on the table. And at the end of the day, this season, we fucking towed you up.
Yeah, but listen, if you want to go down that path, since we've been mates, we've got the wood over here.
Look, if you want to hang on to last year, that's fine.
No.
You can hang on.
Well, you're hanging on to fucking,
this season.
But you're hanging on to a club. Exactly. But it's not your current predicament. Who
Season.
cares about the Broncos of fucking 4 weeks into the season? Talking about the Broncos now. The Broncos that have tumbled out of the 8 and missed
But the only reason why it's
weeks.
tumbled, like the comparison to what they achieved earlier in the year, the only reason why it is such a devastating thing is what they did early in the year. So if I'm not allowed, you're allowed to pull from early in the year. I'm allowed to pull from early in the year. That's only fair.
We're just pulling from right now, which is you tumbling out of the 8. We're not pulling from any other stage of the year. We're just saying that you, right now as well, you're actually a worse club than Manly. If we're just going
If we
right
played
now,
tomorrow, you'd lose.
you'd lose.
Oh, there's a lot of
60,
if this, if that.
50. I mean, we haven't lost by that much ever, let alone this season.
Which is lose was on the weekend.
Less than
40
50.
odd?
Yeah, less than 50.
40 odd. Start with a 4, not a 5.
I
6.
Or 6.
Look, as I said, it's fine. It's all right. If you want to follow the distraction from Manly season,
Well,
that's
they
all
do.
fine. That's all good.
Oh, they do.
Are you gonna do it this week? Try and break the curse.
There is no curse. I'm not lost in the word.
Okay.
I'm not lost in the word. I think you're lost in the word.
Okay. Well, watch you get towed up by the Dragons this week.
Yeah.
I think you're lost in the word. And I'm getting concerned, honestly. I'm getting concerned that you're getting lost in the
You should be
word.
concerned about the club.
We're worried about curses and jerseys and this, that, and the next thing. I think you've just got to realise that the only way you get out of it is by a bit of hard work, not breaking curses.
You don't like, but the Broncos players hate hard work. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what we're hearing.
Well,
it's coming across
if
our-
we hate hard work above you on the table, I hate to say what you guys do.
Well, no, because we've got like serious injury problems in the club. Plus, we had an ideological shitstorm for us. So the fact that you only just beat us,
Unprecedented in the game.
the fact you only
Unprecedented.
just beat us is almost shows where the Broncos
So-
are at.
Anyway, the punter and the dribbler will make up their own mind.
Yeah, they know.
I think, truth be told, they've made it up already.
Yeah, look, it is fun to get on the bandwagon for sure, but I think there's a silent majority out there that understand what you're doing, and it's distracting from
Don't try and
Manly's
leverage
terrible
the
year.
silent majority
no.
and assume to know what they think.
You're just saying you know what people think. You literally just said that.
No, he was
Because they
just
reach out
saying
to me.
we speak directly to them. We don't assume. We have meetups.
Fuck, so you've been speaking to thousands of people over
Yes,
100%.
dude.
Fuck.
Held forums,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
done research, surveys.
Speaking of, you just sat down with the great Ryan Girdler.
We did.
We did.
What was that like?
It was fantastic.
It was good.
Gird's a great man.
Ryan apologised.
for everything he said about Manly.
He did. He said, listen,
Profusely.
I regret it. If I could take it back, I would. I've been exiled from the peninsula, which I think was the right call.
Yeah, it was.
I
couldn't
mean, look,
make it
he's looking to repent. He's looking to make changes.
Be a better man.
To be a better man, to be a better human being.
When's that dropping?
That'll be a couple of weeks. We've got a few in the pipe. The one that we did yesterday, which is dropping tonight in SEN, is with Dan Ganane.
Dan Ganane.
Mate, it's fucking one of the best.
Great ride.
It was a great yarn.
The commentators have all the great yarns because like they've been in the game for so long.
Oh, they're young, but they're also
Good yarners.
Yarners.
good
yeah.
yarners.
You know,
I wonder, like, how do you tell if someone's a yarner from a very young age, you know? Because it's a gift and it's a skill that does get appreciated, in my opinion.
gift of the gab.
Gift of the gab.
One
It's
of the
not
great
as easy
gifts.
as it sounds. Like, oh, this commentator, like, I could do that or whatever. Commentating is tough.
If you think you could fucking call rugby league,
Just give it a go.
Try call half a game and then listen to yourself back.
Not even half a game. Try call fucking
5
5
minutes.
minutes.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And
But
he's a yarner from
half
over.
would be funnier because the deterioration would
The
be.
deterioration after 3 minutes would then be, and then half. You'd
Dan
be in
Ganane.
deep trouble.
Give us
Yeah.
a sneak peek.
Mate, look, he was my first boss in radio, so he was just like an old friend. He's a good dude,
Cute.
and it
Little
was.
bromance between these two.
But it was just, well, the reason I wanted to get him on was because I knew how funny he was. And with commentators, unless you maybe Vossi, who's been in sort of the media a bit more over his career outside of commentating, I don't think you necessarily get a good vibe for who a commentator is. But I just know that Dan's like one of those people who I was like, he's a funny motherfucker as
Yeah.
well. So it was like just trying to.
Joel
show
Keynes
that
was
side
good.
of him.
I saw
Although
some
you do
stories
see
from
with
that.
Dan, I tell a lie. Dan's been on Triple M for fucking years, so a lot of people would absolutely know about Dan, but maybe our audience didn't. I don't know, but mate, he's just a funny guy. Good
a lot of people didn't. I don't think were that excited by Sugar Cane's
Joel Kane was good.
But then
really
when
good.
you listened, everyone was like, "Holy fuck!"
Some of the yarns about
Joel's a yarn.
Yeah.
being like the wrong bloke contracted, I
Dearest
won't
one.
give it away, like because obviously it's a great story.
And James Magnuson we had last week as well. Like they're
trying to
ones
promote.
where necessarily you wouldn't necessarily off the top be like, oh, this is, it's not like we're talking to fucking Joey Johns. But the last 2 weeks with Joel and Magnuson have actually been like the two of my like favourite yarns I reckon we've done.
The yarn about the contract and then the yarn about the first year at the Tigers.
Yep. Great yarn.
Great yarn. So go check that out on Hello
Even his
Sports.
Super League yarn.
I didn't get to that one.
Dude, that's like the gnarliest
That's
one.
the
Really?
gnarliest.
So I missed the main yarn.
Yeah.
That's your fault for not directing me to the
you
best
just need to
content.
Just listen to the whole fucking
I think you need
interview,
to work on your
just
content
listen to the
game.
whole interview. Like, what are you doing?
Oh,
What are you
so
doing?
I got to do everything now.
Yeah.
got everything. I got no time at all, and I've got to listen down to the
We
whole
don't want
thing.
you cutting corners, mate.
No.
I think you need to get better at directing the punter and the dribbler to the best yarns.
Well, the podcast. Listen to the podcast.
But you released the other ones in snippets, so you should have released that in snippets. Just my opinion.
because you don't want to burn.
I'm just going to put it out there.
You don't burn the good content, all the good yarns from a podcast in the clips.
now
'cause
I've
then
been
what's
robbed.
the fucking point?
But
Now
now
you
I've
got to
been
listen to
robbed.
the
And it's too
podcast,
long.
and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long one. It's uncut gemsy. It's fucking good.
Yeah, it's exactly like
and then
that.
Uncut
Magnuson,
Jamesy.
uncut
Uncut Jams.
Jams. Magnuson had
How's his mouth?
a yarn
Uncut
about
Jams?
after he lost.
If you hear that, just wait, sorry, but if you hear that clip of Uncut Jams,
Yeah.
it'll be in your fucking
What's the
head.
news? Like,
I actually have no idea what it is.
You don't know what it is?
Uncut jar.
Oh, we're
you
sorry.
serious?
We're going
I
to have to
got no
stop this
idea.
podcast and you're
What
going to have to
the
see it.
fuck?
Bro, it's the most hectic. It'll be in your It'll be in your
what
head.
the fuck was that? What are you watching there, Darren?
I watch esports.
Call it daddy doing
What is it?
I watch esports.
What's that esport?
StarCraft 2.
Cute.
You're an interesting guy.
It's Call it daddy interviewing Julia. What's her name?
Louis Dreyfus.
No. Julia
Rose?
Fox.
Here we go. This will be in your fucking head for the rest of your life.
It's
so hectic.
It's so hectic.
I mean, I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Jams.
Right,
Uncut Jams.
right.
On the Call Her Daddy podcast, Julia Fox pronounced
I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Jams.
Right,
Uncut jar.
Uncut Jams.
right.
Dude, they're like,
Oh my
Kanye's
God.
like, later.
Uncut
Who
Jams.
calls someone, oh, it's his meals and Uncut Jams?
Psychos.
meals and uncut jar.
Freaks.
Oh.
Freak shows.
Yeah, I'm a bit devastated about I was watching the esports and one of my favourite commentators is moving away, so he won't be commentating there anymore.
Get outta
Found
here.
Found that out this morning.
Fuck, dude, that's tough. So is it like the equivalent of Rabs retiring?
100%. Like, so I always had this dream of going to Seoul and then watching it live. But now he's not going to fucking be there. So
When's he retiring?
Well, he's not retiring. He's moving overseas.
To where?
Seoul is
Canada.
overseas.
Sorry,
Seoul's
yeah,
overseas.
Okay, so
Well, you
apologies.
just go to
Canada.
overseas from
Yeah,
here.
apologies. Canada.
Find him.
Just go to Canada.
No, but it's him. It's a duo. It's him and another guy that have been casting for ages, and like, so they won't be. I wanted to go into the studio and watch it live because they like cast live, but they're not going to be there.
Is there a way you can get him back together?
No,
yourself.
no, can't do that.
How good's it? What is the voice? What's the?
Well, they're just the best in the
why are they so good?
They deliver obviously concise, commentary on the game, but also they're funny. They're just enjoyable to listen to.
What is the game?
It's called StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2.
What is that?
What is StarCraft 2?
It's a real-time strategy game, I think. It's like where you build your army and then you fight someone else that builds their army. It's actually the #1 sport in Korea.
StarCraft, I'm assuming, is like set in space.
Yes.
How'd you get into that?
I've always been a gamer.
No, but StarCraft. I mean, where do you find? Do you play StarCraft?
Back in the day, I did, not anymore.
Why not?
StarCraft 2 better than StarCraft 1?
Yeah, for sure.
Do these
StarCraft
guys?
3?
Not yet, but I wish they would make.
Do these guys
StarCraft
only
3.
commentate StarCraft 2 or do
Nah,
they commentate
but
StarCraft
like
1?
it's the best. They do both. So StarCraft 1 still exists, and so like the esports stars in Korea are like our best rugby. Like they're like Kalen Ponga.
Yeah.
So they're like massive stadiums filled with like fans or whatever. They do StarCraft 1 and they do StarCraft 2 because both games still exist as sports.
Do you watch it when you've got your boys commentating and then someone does something really fucking heckers in StarCraft 2? Are you sitting at home in bed, nude pounding music bars like, holy shit, dude? Like, do you have holy shit moments in StarCraft 2?
Yeah, I do have. I'm not nude pounding music bars,
Sure.
but
We'll pretend that that's not the case.
yeah, we'll pretend. But yeah, 100%. I'm like, holy shit. It's like, would you watch two people playing chess? As in, I know you don't, but would you?
I've watched.
Yeah,
I've watched chess videos
yeah,
before.
it's like that. That's how talented these guys are. It's like watching chess games.
Does your missus watch it, or do you have to go into like a dark room, like of the house, of the palatial estate?
My missus,
just
does
enough.
Starcraft
You just go to the other
2.
wing.
Yeah.
no, she'd watch it if I when it said.
Do you watch it like in your home cinema, or is it a?
home cinema? Yeah, my fucking 2-bedroom unit.
Oh, must be nice.
It's just a normal unit in Sydney. It costs $1 bazillion for a fucking little patch. Anyway, top 8. What could happen? We've got Thursday night, Storm versus Eels. They battle for 4th spot. Top 4, obviously, you're guaranteed a home final, which is pretty big because obviously Melbourne is travelling down there, rah. If Eels win, that means the South versus Roosters game is meaningless, and they'll play each other week 1. So that means that if Eels win, South versus Roosters will play each other this week, and then they'll play each other again.
Just to clarify, the winner of the Storm Eels game plays Panthers week 1.
Yes. Which is
But they get a second chance.
But it's the best one. It's actually the best place to play Panthers. Because you want to play Panthers because even if you lose to them, I'm pretty sure you go to the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, you do. So you don't ever meet them again in the grand final.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's a first game Cleary's back. So
and if you get the jump on them, then exactly.
And because like the Eels, if they could get they've beaten Penrith, and also last year in the finals it was like such a close game.
Mm-hmm.
If they get a jump on them, the biggest issue with the Eels is that they don't get they struggle to string 4 wins together. But if they get the jump, they only need to win 3 games, which they've actually proven they can do on this. What do you got there, Matty?
Just perfect example. It was last year. South played Penrith in that final.
Yeah.
Had no one gave them a chance. As soon as they win, cruise into the grand final.
Yep.
Yeah, no one gave them a fucking hope.
100%.
And you didn't cruise in. It was a tough, gritty game against Manly. Where
Yeah, it was really tough.
Didn't you just get towed up by them?
got the win in the last
22
minute.
22-0 at halftime. That's
Yeah.
Wow, different
that's-
game.
I don't.
Different game.
No, I think you got your ears wrong, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, Storm towed you up, was it?
No.
They got towed up by South.
We fucked the Roosters up.
fucked the Roosters up.
Fucked them up.
What, in the finals?
And one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Didn't you go loss?
No, we went lost,
No,
win,
no,
lost. We're in the top 4, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Second bite of cherry.
Yeah, top 4.
Top 8. You wouldn't know.
Well, you wouldn't-
Neither would you either.
Well, but we
Well-
did from last year.
Okay.
So, you know.
When,
So
when
you can
was
live in the past if you
We've
want.
been in the top
when was
8
the last
most
time
recently.
the Broncos made the top 4?
Or just the finals.
Decade
Let's
ago?
play finals.
A decade ago.
When was the last time you played finals? When was the last time you played finals?
I think it's 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably longer.
But I mean, you can hang on to the past if you want.
No, I'm not. I was just asking. I
Yeah.
was just fucking
Because like
curious.
this year, you've had the worst year of any club in the NRL.
No, we haven't. Incorrect.
Yeah, except
Correct.
the
This wouldn't
6
Spurs
behind
is
us.
Probably.
So Storm versus Eels are battle for 4th. Storm win. It'll be a Roosters. South Roosters will play Raiders or Broncos week 1, but probably Raiders. Loser of South versus Roosters will play Eels week 2. The scary thing is that I actually would probably rather play Cowboys and Sharks than Roosters Rabbitohs. Do you know what I mean? Because like that second week of the finals is going to be fucked. Because you have to play, like let's say you're the Sharks or Cowboys and you lose your first game, whatever. You got to play like Eels or Roosters or the Eels, Roosters, Rabbitohs or Raiders.
Raiders, yeah.
I think
Which
that
is
the
pretty hectic.
Cowboys lose to the Roosters or the Rabbitohs or the Eels.
Sorry?
Sorry. Started speaking to my mic.
No. Rookie.
Yeah, seriously. You think I'd have fucking
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are done. I think the Cowboys
Really?
lose to whoever they play against.
They
Do you reckon
could,
they'll go loss?
I
they do have at least one home final though, I think.
The
I
second
just
week,
feel
they
like
lose the
just
first
seeing
week.
them play, like, and obviously they didn't have Tommy Dearden on the weekend, and that obviously is not nothing. There's just a vibe I'm getting. I feel like the Cows are done. They've had a good run this year.
The feeling I get is like I just don't know if they have that extra
Level
step
to
in
get
them
to,
with
yeah.
the superstars, and I think that Nana is he's growing into that, but he might not be there just yet.
Yeah, I just don't think they've got another gear. They don't have a 6th gear or a 7th gear. Whereas, you know, teams like the Roosters
Or South
are
with
just,
Latrell.
or South, like they can go to other levels and they've been building to other levels where it feels like the Cowboys got there, shocked the fucking world and have sort of just like maintained, if not petered off a bit.
Yeah. So if the Eels win, South and Roosters this week, it's meaningless. But then next week they play each other in the elimination.
it's not as meaningless as like the Roosters, for example. They're going to want to play a final against South at Allianz. They don't want to go to fucking Homebush. So the winner
I would have
There's a
thought
little
that
bit
they
on
would
the
both
line.
want to be playing at Allianz because that's been their
But
whole thing.
it's not South's home ground, so the
Right,
Souths
but don't South want to play at Allianz?
Yeah, but
so it'd
then-
kind of be better off for both of them just to go, well, fuck it, we just keep playing at Allianz. 2
Politis
weeks in
doesn't
a row.
want them there.
But it's a Roosters home game, technically.
No. If the Roosters win against South on Friday, and they play each other next week,
Yeah.
it'll be at Allianz.
What
if
I'm
the
saying
Souths
is,
beat
though-
Roosters,
But what I'm saying is, if you're Politis and you're playing South, fucking have it at Allianz 2 weeks in a row because it's still technically a Roosters home game. 'cause it's at your
I
home
don't
game.
think that works. I don't think you can just do that.
I thought South were wanting to play at Allianz though, so you just go, yeah, sure, you can play
But
here.
there's surely the's contracts and shit in place with a core.
You'd assume that
you would
for
assume.
correct.
Yeah, it'd all be locked in by now. Fuck.
You couldn't just go, sorry, bro.
We're changing our grounds.
I bet everyone wishes they could.
Yeah.
Oh, that Allianz Stadium though, it looks so hectic.
Looks nice.
Seeing Matty Nable's promo for it, I was like, shh, maybe I should try and get some tickets. But I was like, nah,
Just wear a disguise if you're worried.
it's not about that.
What is it?
Well,
Starcraft.
it's a StarCraft's on. If Storm, losers of South versus Roosters will play Eels week 2. Now the top 8 spot, 43 points separate Broncos and Raiders. So Raiders would need to beat the Dragons by 40. No, Broncos would need to beat the Raiders by 43 points more than the Raiders beat the Tigers. So basically, it's almost the only way Broncos really get in is if Raiders lose and they win.
Yeah.
Because there's 43 points. We're not scoring 43 points, and also the Raiders could win by they win by 10 points. We've got to add another fucking 10 points onto it. So I reckon Raiders are a little I don't think they'll go. Oh, they might go all the way, but I think they're a bit of a dark horse because they're just so aggressive. Like they can just turn up and beat you for maybe a one-off kind of thing.
Have they?
I wouldn't be surprised if they ruffled feathers.
That's what I mean. Like I don't know if they'll go all the way, but they've beaten all the top.
I feel like they, and again, purely vibe. Haven't looked into it. Are they beating good teams?
Would it shock
they've
you if they
beaten
beat the
top four
Eels? Would that shock you?
It wouldn't shock me if they beat the Eels.
And then
It'd
what if
shock
the
me
what if the
they-
week after?
It'd shock me if they beat anyone other than the Eels. I reckon.
So this year they've beaten the Sharks twice. They've beaten the
beat the
Rabbitohs.
Cowboys.
They've beaten the Roosters, and they've beaten the
Jesus
Storm.
Christ, they've beaten some teams.
Now-
My vibe's all off.
Now, in saying that, some would argue that during those games, those teams were missing people and, rah-rah. And then some people are like, oh, those teams weren't in form yet. But it's like, well, either was Raiders. Like, you can say the same thing for Raiders.
Who does the winner of 5th versus 8th play? Would that be the loser of 2 and 3 or the loser of 1 and 4?
It'd be 2 and 3, wouldn't it? Because if you're 5th, you'd want the lowest. You wouldn't want to play 1st versus 4th because you might get 1st. Oh, no, they get a week off.
I think 8th would versus 3rd. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then Raiders could go, let's say they finish 8th and the Eels finish 5th.
Let me confirm.
Imagine if they went Eels win, Cows win. Now you're in a
But
fucking
also,
preview.
they actually prefer Melbourne because they have the wood over Melbourne. So if Melbourne dropped to 5th, Raiders have beaten Melbourne. I think they beat them the last time they played, I think. And so I think Raiders actually rather go down to Melbourne and play them because they seem to have. Remember when they beat a few final series ago? They beat Melbourne down in Melbourne. Johnny Bateman.
Yeah, to make the grand final.
So it can be done for sure. Now, top 2 spot. Cowboys play Penrith reserve grade essentially, so they'll most likely win. I mean, I think it's still going to be tough because Penrith still have the systems in place that are so good. They just might struggle to score points. I tell you what though, if you're a Cowboys fan, you'd want them to be 13 plus.
Oh fuck, mate! If they're not humping this weekend, you're
that's
disappointed.
Absolutely,
100%.
If Penrith reserves come out and put it to the Cowboys, it's just their systems over there, seriously crazy. Which means Sharks will have to beat the Knights in Newcastle on Sunday to claim 2nd spot, which they most likely will. Last week I was in a really tough situation, and I want to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
So I was sitting next to this guy on the plane. He was lovely to sit next to, not because we spoke, but because he was polite. I gave him the middle. I was on the edge, he was in the middle. I gave him that thing, but he didn't lean all the way in. He understood that there was a line there, invisible line, don't put your elbows into my area. That is rare.
As in putting him over the thing into your
yes,
shit.
but
he does have rights to both armrests.
He has rights to both armrests, which
He has
I gave
rights
to him.
to the back.
Yeah.
And so
You can,
Lean
if you
forward if you
want,
want. Yeah, for
lean
sure.
forward to the front.
And so
Just so we're on the page.
I was polite. I leaned away. I gave him the whole thing. The whole fucking thing. And he was polite too, because like you'd be surprised how many blokes you give that to and they put their elbows literally across and are touching you when you're like just sitting there normally. Anyway, so when we're leaving, as I was walking out, and we hadn't spoken the whole flight, as I was walking out, he was like, I was getting into the cabs and he's like, oh, where you going, mate? And he was going to Main Beach and I was going in that direction. And I was like, oh, no, it's all good. And I brushed him and I felt bad. But I also didn't want to sit in a cab with another bloke I don't know this whole time.
Not a shit bloke.
Is that shit for me? Because like I've just cost him $30
Fuck.
when I was going in the same direction at him.
Nope.
I don't think you're a shit bloke for doing that. And I'll tell you why. I don't think, personally, that him not putting his elbow over the invisible line into your airspace, essentially, constitutes now we're sharing a cab.
No,
Like,
nor does it constitute like you're a good bloke. It's like
you
that's-
would need to have been like a robust chat happening for the hour flight or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Why the fuck does he think you two are getting a cab anyway?
It was,
he doesn't know you. If you haven't spoken,
we hadn't spoken.
then
He caught me off guard because I was like, oh shit, do I lie or do I? And I was like, oh, no, it's all good, and just jumped in real quick. But is he a bad bloke for enforcing that awkward moment on me?
He's a weird bloke.
yeah, I think he spoke.
Do you
out of
think
school.
do you think he knew who you were and wanted to get a bit of like, you know?
That's what I'm thinking now.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know.
Again, that's. But it's.
I think there's a
it's
chance.
oddly forward. And now, if he knew who you were, it's weirder. If he didn't know who you were, it's like, what? Who the fuck's doing that? Now, I don't know. Maybe we're living in a world where, like, you know, gone are the days of like we just strike up a conversation with someone on the train or the bus or at the bus or whatever. But like, it's just not the way of the world.
I just didn't want to be like, because if you're in a cab together, you got to talk.
Fuck that shit, dude.
You can't just
I
go.
hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff. And like, I hate being forced into like.
And you're a bad
awkward-
bloke if you say,
I don't like the forced awkward
Yeah.
interactions with people.
yeah.
I just can't. I feel super uncomfortable.
Small talk is fucking annoying. Ella was spinning with this yarn. She was down in Melbourne like last year, and they ran into a guy she used to know when she was in high school. And he's like, "Where are you guys going? Can I get an Uber with you?" They get an Uber with this guy, and he fucking ends up going completely opposite direction. Oh, I'm just around the corner. That kind of shit going on and on and on and on and on. They let this fucker out like half an hour later in the middle of fucking nowhere. Nothing for money. See you later. Thanks. Later. Like, just
What a piece of shit.
What a fuck with.
That
Talking
is
about
fuck.
the whole time, but he's like his new idea and his new bloody business he started. I'm like,
no.
mate. So what? You've fucking done your ass on some shit idea, so now you're
Can't afford to pay an Uber.
like,
But I will.
that's uncouth.
Confirm. I don't mind having small talk with people in that, like, if you know what the context is. First, if it's like a dribbler coming up and saying g'day, I can do that all day.
Yeah, for sure.
But the one where it's like your situation where someone's like, can I get in a cab? You're like, no. Or even if I was to like bump into a dribbler and we're having a yarn, he's like, oh, you want to can I get in your cab? You'd be like, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Like, I do like my own space, sir.
Remember the dribbler at Suncorp?
Oh yeah, see that's
Holy
sort of shit,
heckers.
right? Where it's like you're off
I
your
felt
fucking
bad,
guards.
but I had to end it. So this bloke, he's a, he loved the podcast and that, and he came up and sat down like next to us whilst we were watching the thing. Usually you come up, say hi, great, mate, boom, and that's what most people do.
99%.
Yeah, which is great. I appreciate it so much. This guy comes and he sits down like literally next to us, and he just wouldn't leave us alone.
and kept leaning into me like, oh yeah, so like, and we're just sort of,
leaning across me. So like
Talk
Tom's
to
there.
you.
So and Sebo.
Where is he
was
sitting in
Sebo
the
directly
seat?
next to him, or were you?
Yeah,
directly
Sebo was
next to him?
directly next to him. And so we were sitting in the nosebleeds, literally the nosebleeds.
Yeah. Literally,
And
one
so
from the back.
This guy was just like, talking to Sebo. Sebo was getting smashed the most,
Yeah.
like annihilated. He was angry. Sebo was getting angry. Anyway, so Tom was like, tried to give this guy a hint. And
How'd you hint him?
Well, I was like, all right, man, like, cool,
Yeah.
have a good one. Like, no, nothing like, I wasn't like, fuck.
No,
that's-
I'm just seeing what sort of techniques you're employing. Because
look,
there's
I think
we
at some point I
employ
was
it a
like,
lot.
I
We
think at
employ it a
some
lot.
point I said to him like, hey, dude, like, you're being a bit much. And that's what it got to sort of that point, because it was like he wasn't getting the hit and he was like cutting people off and just like yelling over the top of everyone, and it was like just this really intense behaviour, and you're
So
like, what the
intense.
fuck is going on here? Like,
And so-
it'd be weird if your friend was doing it.
Yeah.
And so Tom tried to give him a hint. Sebo was like fuming at this point. Like he's just looking ahead, grumpy, not enjoying the game. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have to be that guy.
Yeah. You're going to step up?
And I just
Be a leader?
Took his shirt off.
didn't take my shirt off. And I
Sit outside, cunt. Let's go.
I just said, listen, man. I said, listen, we appreciate that you're a fan, but you need to leave right now.
The right now cuts through.
And he was devastated.
Yeah,
Was he?
I
and then
saw
felt
his
bad,
heart
but I'm
break.
like, bro.
Oh, because he wasn't getting the cue.
But
He had no
we're-
idea of how fucking annoying and
and
how
we're not
wasted he was.
Yeah.
You're like, dude.
And we're not talking like a 5-minute thing. We're talking 45. He was there for at least 45 minutes.
Oh, he was there for ages.
Yeah, so we were being patient. So I wasn't just like immediately like, get out of here. But I was like, there's the only way I've got to break this poor man's heart. And so I just said, listen, man, you've got to leave. We appreciate that you're a fan, but you have to leave right now. I'm trying to be here with my friends, enjoy the rugby league. I understand you love the show and all that kind of stuff.
But even like, when we went to Newcastle to watch Manly hump the Knights, we were at a pub and then we were like, oh, we're leaving the pub to go to the game. And this guy's like, Dribble's like, do you want a lift? Slade, shout out to Slade.
Great
Slade
name.
was a
Great
good
name.
dude.
Great name.
And
One of
we
the
were
greats.
like, he drove us to the game. And then we were like, fuck, you want to come to the game? He was like, yeah. So we got a ticket. He came in and he sat with us. And like, we kicked it with Slade all night.
Of course you did. His name's Slade.
But like, it's there's a way to interact with people that's not bizarre.
well, he
Slade
was
hit the tempo.
Slade was a
Yeah,
good dude.
he got
Shout
the
out to
rhythm.
Slade.
He got the rhythm.
He got the rhythm.
You got to get the rhythm.
And the vibe. You got to know the vibe. This, like, unfortunately, this bloke was absolutely pickled. Like, he was so shanked. And he was just loving life. So I felt so bad. And seeing his face change when I said that, fuck, I literally still remember the exact moment. Like, I can see it in my head.
Yeah, you pinpoint when his heart broke.
Yeah, because it went from, this is the best time ever, to like, oh, okay, man. Oh, all right, sweet. And then he like kind of got up and then he sulked and walked off.
Went back down to his much better seats than we were sitting in.
Yeah, come to nosebleeds
Well,
too.
like it's much like a song, you know what I mean? You got to fucking dance to the rhythm.
Yeah.
Well, Slade did. Slade could
Slade had fucking hips that wouldn't lie from a just being
Reading
a good
the
like
situation.
reading the vibe
Yeah.
situation. Like he didn't overplay his hand, he didn't talk too much.
Well, that was in. He's
But
just
he talked
Enough.
Enough.
Yeah, he wasn't a weirdo just sitting there like oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he didn't talk.
Yeah,
that
that
was
is weird.
fucking weird. It would've been
Slade's
like
a vibe. He's a vibe operator.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's really too many rules to social interaction of like talk too much, don't talk enough, do this, that. It was just like just be normal and everything was normal. Don't be flogged and be like trying to just trample all over everything.
Sebo was like,
Poor old Sebo.
I've never seen him angry like that.
He was in the hurt locker.
He was dying and he just was too polite and I was just like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do this. And I was like building myself up to
Did
it.
Sebo say thanks afterwards?
No, he was like, oh, fuck. Thank you. I wasn't
weight
thank
was
you, but like just, it wasn't saying thank you to me. He was just like, thank you that is now over.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like the dude that tried to look at your dick in the Caxton toilets.
Oh God, yeah, that guy dude, just wouldn't get me. Like I had to on that Magic Round weekend become an exclusive stall guy because there was like just dribblers aplenty. But after we did that meet and greet, the guy was like almost trying to bash the door down so he could fucking take a piss with me. I was like, hey, bro. You need to fuck off. Like he'd just been getting a photo with us all for like, an hour later and earlier. And then he's like, oi, let us in, man. Come on. He's got his phone out. I'm like, can you fuck off, dude?
I'm trying to piss. See my dick.
Sorry, dick.
It's not
And
big
he'd
enough
go
to
back,
photograph.
he'd go back
dude.
and say,
No,
I
it's
see.
not.
It's not,
It's not.
We can't
It's
be putting that
it's
thing
not
into
good.
a photo. I don't want that getting online.
It's not photo quality.
It's not camera ready.
You know,
it's not camera
It's
ready.
not camera ready.
You know what I was
Put some makeup on it, get some blood into it, and sure you come in.
It needs glam.
Yeah, exactly. It
Needs glam.
needs to be primed.
You know, I was thinking
It
about,
wasn't primed.
It was not
I'd
primed
be
at
shocked
all.
if it
mate.
was.
No.
I was literally thinking about this today.
Hard to get
You know
primed
what's
onto me.
weird? It's like
to be camera ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It would have been a tall order
or a short one.
or a short one.
You know what is weird? It's like, how many people do you think have seen your dick in like your life?
in the world.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Because it probably isn't that many people when you really think about it.
Well, as a percentage of the human population, no, I'd say it's almost fucking infinitesimal.
I don't know. Off the top of the dome.
But you know what? It'd also still
30?
be like it'd still probably be like in the 50s.
Which is a bit,
40s.
don't you think that's a bit like you meet so
40,
many people?
50.
Kids, and you're at primary school, you're pissing at a
Oh
trough,
yeah,
like-
mate, to be getting up there.
Yeah, it'd be a few.
people having a look at a trough and shit as
Yeah.
well. Does that count? Be in the
Yeah.
hundreds.
It'd be
In
up
the
there.
thousands
Yeah.
then. Everyone has a fucking gander. You can feel the eyes like, oh, this bloke's having a look. Because they'll zip up and turn India and go, whoop.
Yeah, don't turn in. Please
You turn
turn
in,
away.
you're having a look.
Yeah, you're having a look. If you turn in, you're having a look. Now, if you've got a guy on either side of you, you just back away slowly with your hand.
Back away.
Back away with your face up,
Head up,
pointing up.
turn around.
Look, if you're swamped at the footy, I'm not that concerned. But if you're coming up next to me and there's room there, and then you're turning in, alarm bells are going on. Not that I'm overly alarmed. I'm just like, I think you just had a squiz.
What do you think, mate?
I should ask him. Man. What do you think, mate? Throw that out there. Yeah, I know.
That would
I
rattle
know
him.
what he'd say.
That would rattle him.
I know what he'd say.
But that would rattle him because he got
see it.
caught. Do you know what I mean?
Hey?
Like
Yeah,
that would rattle him because he got caught doing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. It's covered by my thumb length.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. My pinky's in the way.
Now, Joseph Suaalii.
Sorry, just to go back a long time ago, but it's still relevant. So the final series is first versus fourth. We'll play the winner of fifth versus eighth.
Okay, so it's okay. So the middle teams stay with the middles and the outers stay with the outers. Cool. That's easy to remember.
Bit of breaking news as well. Not the best, but Taylor May's been found guilty of assault. He's no conviction recorded, but because he pleaded not guilty and he's guilty, it'll be interesting to see if he gets suspended.
Didn't
or
he
whatever.
just like wrestle someone that was trying to take photos of?
Something like that? Yeah, after the grand final last year.
Was he protected Cleary?
Yeah, like someone was in Cleary's face or something, and
Yeah.
he just grabbed him and pulled him away.
So yeah, he got found guilty, but he's only been fined a very small amount.
Yeah.
No conviction
That's a
recorded.
nothing thing.
If you're protecting your mate from a pest,
As we were just saying.
yeah.
You know? Someone's trying to take a photo of your dick in the fucking stall.
Well, I know Penrith were not protected Taylor, but they were pretty like, no, they didn't have an issue, didn't seem to have, I mean, I'm sure internally they were like, Taylor, like you can handle it differently, but publicly they didn't seem to be that upset with the whole situation.
No.
Penrith. So, yeah, a bit of a nothing thing. Because I tell you what, Taylor May, he's strong as shit. So if he wanted to hurt someone, he could fuck someone up.
Yeah. Ask Joey Lussick, I believe.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Joey will tell you.
Joey will tell you.
Is it Joey?
I think it was Joey Lussick or Freddie.
Freddie.
Is there
Freddie.
a Joey?
There's Joey, but it's Freddie. Tell you what though, Freddie Lussick's chin is a chin of all time.
Yeah, it was a chin of consequence. He
Holy
got
shit.
some shots put on him.
Chin of substance.
Now, Joseph Suaalii, initial reports that Rugby Australia would throw $10 million at Suaalii to switch codes on a 5-year deal. So we're talking, you're looking at what, 1.5 per year? 2 years, 2 per year.
Yeah. 5.
Oh, yeah, 2 per year. They're calling it the Golden Decade for Rugby Australia, which includes a home World Cup, multiple Olympics, which he can win gold medals at, and play a Lions tournament. Rugby Australia chairman Hamish McLennan said those numbers weren't true, but it's believed they will throw $1 million a year at him. Peter Vlandie simply said, I don't think he'd go there because he'd be bored.
Look, off the top, we've been talking about this for fucking at least the last year, ever since Suaalii came along and started throbbing. $1 million a year is skinny, in my opinion. If you're Rugby Australia and you're going to use him as like a marketing tool, which is exactly what, not only is he a freak player,
hot as
but he'll
anything.
also bring the fucking eyeballs.
He's so hot too.
He's very fucking hot. He's only going to get more hot, more rootable. And I just think that him on a billboard, it puts bums on seats.
Absolutely.
So you can fuck $1 million off. I think 2 is a great number. It's 2 you'd get back in a heartbeat because of his marketability.
Easy.
Like, look at the contract that the AFL gave fucking Folau when he went to GWS.
Yeah, NK.
Like, he couldn't even kick a ball. It didn't matter. It's
They reckon
about fucking eyeballs.
They did a bit of research on that. They reckon it paid it back in like the first 6 weeks or some shit.
Suaalii, you get $2 million back in a heartbeat. There's no salary cap when it comes to Australian contracts, so you can fuck $1 million off. Let's start there.
Yep.
It is a very attractive offer, I may say. Like, you've got the home Olympics, you've got the Lions who come every 12 years. The Aussie Sevens just want to go World Championship, so they're humming at the right time.
I'd like him to go. I know that sounds bad, but I do. There's something about. I wouldn't care if he stayed, but like, there's something about having just around World Cups where it's like, let's just buy a bunch of leagueies, dominate, and then they all come back and we move on.
Well, look, national glory, I think, needs to be considered here.
Yes, it does.
It needs to be considered strongly.
And he's not going to get fucking anywhere near $2 million in rugby league anyway, and he probably doesn't want to leave the Roosters, who aren't going to fuck off Tedesco. So you.
Well, what's crazy as well is that in 5 years' time, he will be about 23 or 24.
Mate, he's fucking primed and ready. Like,
so he can just come straight back to league and throb out of his mind.
Yeah.
Mate,
Rich as shit.
Yeah, rich as anything. Look, if it is true
it's one of the
10
great
million,
carrots.
Yeah.
It's one of the great
Imagine
carrots.
having that thrown at
They
you.
got a fucking. Have you read their war? Like who they're going after?
yeah, they got a fair.
They won't get Turbo because he's too tied to the peninsula.
They want Big Nelson to stop Solomon, don't
He's
they?
a Kiwi.
Cam
But
Murray.
he would be eligible, I think.
Cam Murray's been thrown
Yeah,
around.
he was an
Cam,
Aussie
he's
schoolboy.
too much of a good bloke. He wouldn't go.
Aussie schoolboy, Crichton.
I do know Cam loved his time playing in, like his year 12, 11 and 12. It's some of his best memories, he said. So,
Same.
yeah.
Some of my best memories. Yeah.
You never brought that up before.
No, I'm just saying. I get it. I get it.
I'm just saying you've never brought it up.
I was just saying I understand what he's talking about. That's all.
Right.
About a group of young men coming together, common goal.
Yeah.
So this would start as of next year if my math is right.
What's his contract? How much have Souths fucked up by letting this guy go?
How much of Rugby Australia fucked up by letting him go to start with?
They've all fucked up.
No, see, so Paul Kent said this. Did you watch that?
No.
So I watched the clip. So Paul Kent has just gone as the worst fuck up ever. But I think that's easy to say in hindsight.
But he was touted.
No, I
But
thought
the
no.
clauses
He got pulled like.
To
I
the
think,
Roosters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think they lost him. It wasn't their fuck up.
But you need to be literally pulling him harder.
I think he got wined on in 69 better.
No, so
Clearly.
So the Rabbitohs weren't willing to, because he wanted all these clauses in his contract. Basically, if you could leave whenever you wanted to leave. The Rabbitohs weren't willing to do that. So at the time, most people were like, yep, firm, good stance. And I'd be confident that, I don't think Paul Kent is in favour of players having all these, stances. Not Paul Kent specifically, but, a lot of people are always like, they should never have these clauses. Like, for example, Kalen Ponga's one. Everyone talks about these player clauses are stupid. Then Rabbitohs go and do that, and now all of a sudden Rabbitohs are stupid. It's like, well, hang on a sec. You can't have both. You either love clauses and allow the superstars of the game to have them, or you play hardball.
Kid's just so
I think you fucking clause all the way up. I think you clause to the eyeballs
To keep
for
a
a
guy like
fucking
Suaalii?
superstar. 100%, bro.
Yeah, so I understand the argument of like Suaalii has gone on to be, he is going to be so fucking hectic. But I think people are forgetting that like it was because of all the clauses that he wanted in his contract. And it's easier to say now that it's the biggest fuck up, but that's because we've seen how good he is. What if he came and he was terrible?
But he was highly
Mate, he was
touted.
he's considered the greatest fucking prodigy of all time.
Touch wood. What if he comes out, boom, ACL first year?
But that's just
like,
that,
that could
that's
happen anyone.
life.
yeah, but people would be saying
What happens if it just falls on his foot?
let's say Rabbitohs kept him and signed a big 4 or 5 year deal. Boom, ACL first year. They'd be saying, Rabbitohs, you're so stupid. Or
I
put
reckon
it
the
this way.
fans
wouldn't be saying he's
Nah,
they're
okay,
stupid.
put it
the
this
fans
way.
have swallowed that.
Okay, Suaalii, they give him all the clauses. He signs a 5-year deal at the Rabbitohs, and then he has a clause to get out to uni. He leaves in the first year after throbbing his dick off like he has. People will be saying, "You're so stupid, Rabbitohs, for giving him those clauses."
Well, yeah, he might be stupid for giving him the clauses, but it's better off than having the Roosters have him. He leaves rugby league. He doesn't leave the Rabbitohs. He leaves the whole game.
If I'm the CEO of the Rabbitohs,
that's-
I'm coming out and I'm saying exactly that. Going, if we didn't fucking put that clause in, he would have gone to the Roosters. That's why we did it.
Yeah, but it's just different.
Yeah.
And people go, righto, that sounds pretty good to me.
We just put in a clause of you can't go to another rugby league club.
But I think it's also like it's easy to say now when everything has gone right for Suaalii. Like I think I understand he's gone incredible, and maybe they should have kept him. But like at the time, they could never have known he would throb this hard this quickly.
I think that there are certain players that come along maybe once every 10 years like him that are different. They sit outside of the norm, like Kurtley Beals, Suaaliis, Folau's, like these sort of Ponga, like these sort of motherfuckers are different. I think so. Like they needed to be. I think that
And they would have had eyes on him before. Like I hadn't seen him, obviously he was playing schoolboy and shit, but like most people hadn't seen him play until end of last year, this year. But the people that know have. They've been watching him. So it's like they know how good he is.
All the prodigies that have been spoken around at schoolboy level that have been spoken about in this manner
Yeah.
have gone on to be fucking thorough.
Okay, I'll give you this scenario then. Let's say Manly could have had him, gave him all the clauses, and then halfway through the year he bounces to Union and your salary cap is fucked. You have to get rid of you have to lose one of your superstars to keep him.
Well, that's not what would have happened here, though, right? They wouldn't necessarily have had are the Roosters.
I don't know.
How much are the Roosters?
Do you reckon
the
they could?
Roosters can fucking afford him?
But let's be honest.
What are you saying?
Well, Roosters have a very powerful enticement for after footy, that kind of stuff. Do you reckon they could have kept Suaalii, Latrell Mitchell, and Cody Walker?
I think so. I do, because I don't think you're. What's he on?
300, I think.
300.
Well, some of the reports are like 500. I was like, no, they surely not.
I
Surely
thought it
not.
was 3, but
I think that they could have him on 3 at the Rabbitohs.
I get where you're coming from.
Don't get me wrong. Like
but the risk of
Roosters,
losing,
yeah.
I think, is
Roosters have right now, as we sit right now, Roosters made the right call.
Yeah.
Like Roosters made the right call. But I'm just saying, like, so many things could have gone wrong, and then Rabbitohs have been the bad guys for giving all these clauses. Like, for example, look at the shit Newcastle caught with Kalen for all the clauses that he had. Newey fans hated that, and we had big articles about players shouldn't have clauses, this, that, and next thing, and they had to do that to keep Kalen, and Kalen was arguably just as touted. Some people said Suaalii is the greatest they've ever seen, but Kalen was like, I mean, he nearly won a Dally Enemy his first year, literally.
I think the further on you get, the less. I think the more money you get, the less clauses you should be allowed potentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like in
fair.
the early going, you want to sign a prodigy. He's on 300 and he wants to be dripping in clauses. Then so be it. We'll see what he becomes. But if you're already established, like Kalen Ponga is, you rip and tear at representative level. You're on $1 million plus. That's where I think you can start walking back the clauses.
That's a good point.
Going,
'Cause
if you're on top 5 paid in the comp, you're not going to get 500 clauses.
So, okay, let's say Suaalii does leave the Roosters now. Did the Roosters make the right or the wrong decision, do you reckon?
Depending on how they go this year. If they win the comp this year, it's a good decision.
Because like Rabbitohs last year, they were in the grand final. So,
Yeah, well, he couldn't play. He was too young, wasn't he? He was only able to play.
But
late
I'm
in
just
the year.
saying the position the club was in, like they're in a grand final, they're really, really
Yeah,
strong.
they're doing well.
Yeah.
They could afford to lose him.
Yeah.
Like he
I think 100% made the right call. Like you got to back your systems and back your culture and shit, which Roosters always do. So they're probably of the opinion you get him in there, get him comfortable, get him seeing how we operate as a club.
I
Get him
just don't know how
Selling
selling
they
the
he's
do that.
dream
gonna
life.
leave.
This is like your this is where we see you in 5 years. This is your ceiling. This is what you can expect to get paid. This is what we expect to do as a club. Like that'd be because they'll be having their own conversations with him, right?
Well, it's
They'd be reading this shit and they'd be on the fucking blow to his manager going, mate.
Well, that's what's interesting is like, how do they keep Suaalii? Like, they cannot keep Manu, Tedesco, and Suaalii. It's
No, they
impossible.
can't. And
It's impossible.
unfortunately, like Rugby Australia is striking at the right time, right?
Would you-
They're like he's vulnerable now to being poached.
Would you let Manu go to keep Suaalii?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yep.
You would? Would you let Teddy go?
There's. It depends, right? Like
You can't take him face value.
It's hard
have-
because I don't know is Kiri good to go? Like, what's the
Yeah.
situation with Kiri? Like, Sam Walker's obviously going fucking well. Kiri's a big concern for me because then if I fuck Manu off, like, and Kiri has injuries moving forward, then I'm fucked. I don't have a 6. It's a fucking huge punt. If
How
I'm
old
the-
is Manu?
If I'm the Roosters and he's going to
26.
the.
I mean, fuck. Manu's not a bad one to hold.
Actually, I think he's younger, 25 maybe. What are you going to say, Matty?
I was going to say, yeah, you can't take him at face value because if you keep, say, Suaalii for Teddy, you're running the risk of Suaalii leaving the next year. And if, as a South fan, obviously right now it is regrettable that we don't have Suaalii in our team. But
Regrettable.
Yeah, and that's all it is because in a year he could be in rugby and we could have lost either Cook, Walker or Latrell who are scraping to keep right now.
Yeah.
So hindsight's beautiful, but at the time I was happy we let him go.
Yeah, it's just tough because it can fuck your cap. Because if, let's say he goes, yeah, I'll resign, but I want a clause, and then he bounces.
But there's no way if I'm the Roosters, zero fucking chance that he's getting those clauses if I'm getting rid of a Manu to keep him. No way.
No,
I go,
yeah.
bruh, it is what it is. Like, you'd maybe consider getting rid of Joey, but I'd be making sure that contract's fucking ironclad.
Oh, 100%.
Otherwise, see you later.
And honestly, I'd want it to be like a minimum 5-year deal.
It'd be until the World Cup.
This is a question from someone who doesn't know.
100%.
But is Teddy capable of playing 6?
Yeah, for sure. I think Teddy's honestly capable of playing fucking front row.
Right.
Like, seriously.
So you could,
He's so
there's
good.
a world where you could, if Manu went, you could go, well, Suaalii plays fullback and Teddy was 6. If
Yeah,
Kiri was
Suaalii wants to play fullback.
No, I know.
Yeah, so...
But
yeah,
I mean, if you
yeah,
like,
for
if you
sure.
want to keep Teddy without getting,
Absolutely. But I just think, like, Joey, Manu is so hectic. He's so hectic. Honestly, I don't know what the right answer is. Because, like, Suaalii might genuinely be like, I am not signing a contract unless it has... Because he's already done it. Saying, I'm not signing it unless it has the clause.
Different world.
Different world now?
Because he's proven himself.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I think that Rugby Australia, based on everything we've just talked about, is a huge chance of getting him.
It'd be
They
massive.
even have... Like, I know they've got money, but...
Do you get
10
money? You
mil?
get money. I think you get money when you get like a World Cup. Like in
Okay. So that's where they're banking on.
preparation of
Because,
it.
like, right now, and this is... I'm not being disrespectful or whatever, I don't even think they have 10 million to spend.
This would all be geared around projected earnings from
Yeah.
the World Cup in 2027, and it'll be offset against all that.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
Far out.
Is Hamish McLennan the most rugby union chairman name of all time?
Oh, seriously.
Yeah, it
Pretty
is.
close, right?
I'd be
close.
right up there.
Would you be okay with us getting completely rated, like rugby league, to win a World Cup, and then we get them back?
Yep.
Yep. National glory means everything.
National glory is important. It's good for honestly the general well-being of like.
You
everyone.
wake up feeling better about yourself, knowing that
Could you
Bill's in the cupboard.
imagine the World Cup here, which is going to be so, like, I'm so excited, and Australia are going well?
But also you got to it's a showcase of Australian exceptionalism, right? So then even if we're borrowing a little bit from rugby league, it's like, we're sharing's caring if there's a World Cup.
We
at
should
home.
be rugby league should always be like, we'll loan you.
Obligated.
We'll loan you for a couple of years.
Yeah, loan between codes.
Just go. We want the best for the nation. So we're going to loan you Suaalii.
Yeah.
We're not going to loan you Turbo, but we will loan you a couple others. We'll loan you Payne Haas at number 8. I like that.
Paying Haas off the back. Ooh, baby. And then once Bill's secured and a couple of bleds, then we
Come
just
on
move
back.
on with our lives.
Then no one watches Union anymore.
Yeah.
They come back to Union.
It
Sorry, come back to
will
league.
have been what, 24 years between World Cups on this soil. So sounds about
Mate, how
about the right time.
Yep.
How
Once
exciting.
Every, 4 times every century sort of thing.
Like, I'm so excited for the World Cup, even though I don't watch any rugby.
Dude, it's the best. It's the
so-
best rugby has to offer. It's fucking awesome.
Now, transfer was really interesting. Suaalii, it's just crazy. Every time we get a game, incredible superstar, these talk come up. Like, it's almost like it's a cycle. You know what I mean? Like, Israel Folau comes through, Kay comes through, and
But it seems like the ones that rugby union really want, they not like always get, but like they do seem to be able
I think
to
they were in a
get.
stronger position back then, though. They're not as strong as
Folau, they
now.
weren't in that strong a position when they got Folau. Like they were
Yeah.
maybe better, but
Yeah,
like
that's
it
fair.
wasn't wildly. And obviously he went to AFL first,
Yeah,
but it was
got
like
cashed up.
yeah,
What did he get for that?
6 million or something ridiculous.
This is back in, 2010, 11?
Something.
It was fucking genius, though.
I was literally...
Let's
I
get
was-
like an Islander superstar and then just go and plonk a side in the middle of
Western
Western Sydney.
yeah.
I was at the Broncos. I was playing outside him when he was going through all the negotiations.
Oh, you
It's just
played with
crazy.
Folau.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was it like playing outside him?
Yeah, he's so good. He was like, because he left, he doesn't get appreciated for how good he was. But if he stayed, I honestly believe he would be in the same breath as Greg Inglis.
No, I agree with that. He was fucking crazy.
Unbelievable.
Like he was crazy. We'd never
Unbelievable.
seen anyone like him in the air either. Like
Yep.
he was he's the person that everyone was compared to afterwards.
Yep.
Some people
you
call
know.
him the greatest wallaby of all time.
Like, he was...
Well, he almost scored the most tries.
Close. He was
I think he got
was getting
close before he
Yeah.
came out and,
Um,
I think he has the most for Wallabies, or is Campese
No,
who's got
Campese
it?
does, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, watching him, like, just talking to him when he was all, like, when it was all happening, it's just seeing, when you think back to it, think of him going through the pros and cons. Like, when I was talking about it, he was talking about the money, and it was so, it set his family up for life, and he was torn. But I think the public don't actually see, like, the players do get torn. Like, they think, they see the 6 million, they go, fuck yeah, let's go. But he was genuinely torn. But he was just like, it's just going to set me up. Like, what else can I do?
It's hard to say no.
It's hard to say no. He's like, what? Like, I say no, and there's this huge life-changing opportunity for me to do it.
How many goals did he kick?
Maybe none.
I don't know, but I told him to do it. Just so you know, I said do it. I was like, bro, it's your family. Like, that's all that fucking matters. So yeah, Israel was incredible.
Well, you need to get him on the potty. You got his number?
The great Israel Folau. Is he still playing footy?
I think he's maybe playing in Japan.
He was great player, incredible player. Now, on to transfer whispers. Dragons in the box seat to keep Benny Hunt with an improved offer. Hunt's salary increases if the salary cap increases. So no doubt Dragons and Hunt are frustrated that the cap hasn't been set for next following years. Did you know that? That the CBA has not even been agreed to yet for next year.
I'm not shocked by that. I don't think it should be going up. Like, what is there like? I was under the impression that the TV rights deal had gone down. On
The word is that the salary cap's going to be around 12 million next year.
12 million up from 9.8.
Yeah.
Where's all this money coming from?
Sorry, that's what they're saying on Fox Sports.
Where's all this money coming from?
Well, the thing is, we were already making profit. NRL was making profit even before everything happened. We made, I think it was like 55 million profit.
The clubs don't make any money.
Yeah, but that's the club. They get big. That's the tossing and frying between the clubs and the NRL. Clubs believe that they deserve more money, and then the NRL believes that we give you a lot of money, you should be, and that's always the battle with it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 12 million. That's a lot of money, but I think it's because the RLPA is negotiating that they want a higher percentage of the revenue that's generated by the game. Because at the moment, can you try and find what the revenue is generated by that the players get? I think it's around 20%, but I could be totally... It's not as high as like the NBA and stuff like that. I don't know, like, because I'm a fan, it's tough. I'd almost rather that money go to the club so that they can make profits. But
see, that's where... Look, you say that, but then you're also like, well, what? They'll probably just fucking spend it anyway. I don't know if they're going to spend it in the right ways. If the fact that it hasn't been set is because they haven't come up with a split of profits to players, so to speak, they need to iron that shit out because it's already August. Call it September.
It's like 2 months away. It's 3 months away.
Call it September. And not having a salary cap for next year even seems crazy to me.
Is it September today?
Yeah, I think it is. First.
No, it's tomorrow.
It's 31st today.
I'll say this. What... 9.8, I think that's what it's at, to 12 seems like a big jump.
That's all I heard on 360. So it's not confirmed.
They wouldn't have had a jump like that in...
They could be saying that to make the players sound greedy. So you don't know. As in that could be like, they could be saying, the players want 12 million or it might go to 12 million, so people go, fucking greedy players. You just don't know what it is. But yeah.
So according to this article, there was a $43 million surplus and the NRL players getting 11 million of that, so about 25%.
So it's around the 25%. And NBA get what, like 45%?
Pretty sure NBA's 50-50.
Yeah, it's like 50-50. So it is quite low compared to what the NRL generate, and obviously the NRL generate it because of the players.
The NBA literally going like shut down the league and shit though. They go hard in the paint when it comes to fucking nutting out deals.
Well, that's the scary thing is like, players may be forced into a position if they don't like. There's some players whose contract can't get registered. They're the ones on the lower tier because clubs don't know. Like, let's say it is to go up to 11 million. That could be like 6 or 7 fringies. You know what I mean? So
fringies. Are fringies, like, is that a term used for during rugby league? Fringies? Yeah. Much like list cloggers?
I'm not sure what list cloggers means. Is that
list cloggers is like Dylan friends, that's like literally just people who are just clogging the lists of AFL teams.
Nah, fringe. I don't think fringies is like that because it's more just like someone on the verge of playing a lot of first grade, or someone that's like, a veteran that plays 6 games New South Wales Cup, 3 or 4 games of first grade, go back to Cup. I'm not list cloggers. Again, I don't know. Like
that very much sounds like an AFL term.
Well, I think list cloggers is. I was talking fringies. So I just liked the term.
List cloggers.
I'm thinking about a TV show called Fringies.
And it's literally just based on fringe footy players.
Fringies. Based on fringies. Or a reality show.
Yeah.
What do you reckon with Benny Hunt? Do you reckon the Dragons will get him?
Probably.
I think they need to.
But I did see somewhere written, and I don't know where, and it probably wasn't anywhere to be trusted, but that you guys were trying to get him back to play hooker.
Who said that?
Again,
could have been a dribbler.
It could have honestly been in the punters and dribblers page.
I mean, we need a specialist hooker.
But you wouldn't pay 8 for him for hooker, would you?
8.
I'd consider it.
Like, would you have room? Would you have to? Also,
sure.
Payne or Paddy after all this?
Well,
Gun to your head.
well,
Gun to your sack.
gun him a sack. Oh, I've always said
Gun to your sack.
gun him a
Payne or
sack.
Paddy?
Gun him a sack. I've always said Payne's not worth $1 million.
Say Payne or Paddy. Gun to your sack.
So listen to me, and it sounds like Payne wants
I'll
$1 million.
fucking shoot.
Am I allowed to talk, or am I just going to get my dick blown off? I feel like this is just all one ruse to blow my dick off.
With your balls. I wouldn't take.
Well, I think it all goes off.
I wouldn't take your dick. I'm not that mean.
If a gun is like that close to my dick, I'm pretty sure it doesn't
I'm
just
allowing you to
slice them
fold
off.
it up.
I'm still reckon it.
Payne or Paddy?
I think that it rips it off. Like if you shot someone close to the dick, it wouldn't just split the balls off. It would take your whole dick and balls
No,
off.
I think it depends. It depends.
Depends on the gun.
Yeah, that's
okay.
also true. But so Payne or Paddy, nothing. I don't care. Just pick.
Yeah, Payne. If he wants $1 million, then I think it's between him and Paddy. I'd keep Paddy for sure.
Okay, so now I don't want it to be about any money at all. Payne or Paddy?
Again, it all just it matters how much they get paid. That it matters.
Okay, so if you could only pick one, who would it be?
If you could only pick one, Cherry or Tom Trbojevic.
Tom Trbojevic. Next question.
Wow, so disloyal to a club legend.
No, I'm not. I just know
It's just Daly Cherry Evans is getting on.
Look, considering that he already asked to leave or whatever, I'd probably go Paddy.
There you go.
There you go. There we go.
Hates Payne. Come to Manly, Payne.
Oh, give me a break. Honestly, if I'm being
I just know
totally
there's
honest,
some chat recently. I'm obviously being a smart ass, but like with Paddy out and the Broncos slide somewhat lining
that
up
chat's
with...
from. I was talking about it on the potty. I've been talking about it. No, I personally, I'm being 100% honest. I don't think Payne will be at the club next year.
Wow.
And again, that's if we get like a good replacement for him. But I can't see
You take Marty to power, we take Payne.
No, thank
A
you.
like for like of sorts. Would you? Okay, if Payne leaves, is there?
Well, there's whispers about they could chase a Munster or a.
All right, but if Munster succumbs to the 1.5, although if Payne left, it's playing for a club like the Broncos would be.
Well, he was a Broncos fan growing up. Lucky fan.
Well, mate. I'm not surprised to hear it.
That'd be pretty cool.
I tell you what, with Paddy Carrigan just on the up and the up, and by all accounts a real leader of men, freeing up that salary cap space by getting rid of Payne Haas potentially, there's all of a sudden a couple of fucking boys you can start looking at.
Yeah. That's what's really interesting. I think, like, if Payne seems quite like he wants $1 million, which is like respect it.
Get it to West.
And so it's like, there's no point fighting. Like, obviously you fight to keep him in the sense of like, mate, we want you here. We really, really want you here. But I don't think it's good for the squad to pay a front row $1 million. In saying that, I don't think we've ever seen a front rower as good as Payne has. Like, I honestly think on his day, he's as good as any front rower has ever been when it comes to truck and nut. Jesus Christ.
Good Lord.
Do you think...
Seizure.
Sorry, just quickly. I'll take back, I don't think he'll be at the club next year, but I don't think 2024, that's when I don't think he'll be at the club.
Do you think another club that's a contender will pay him $1 million? Does he want the money? He wants success as well, right?
Well, but that's what I'm not understanding is like, surely any club understands you cannot pay a front rower $1 million. Like, Payne has done things we've never seen before from a front rower. Like, the stats that he's been putting up over the last few years are absolutely incredible. Yet look where we are as a team. So you're not, a front row is not going to get you off the bottom of
They're
the ladder.
not influential enough.
And again, and I'm talking about I think he's going to be one of the greatest front rowers we've ever seen. But it's just not good for your cap, in my opinion. Look what Chad and Reynolds have done and Nico have done for their respective clubs, because that's the most influential player. So it's
Mate, completely agree. We've been over it a couple of times, and my opinions haven't changed. I'm sort of looking at it now, being like, fucking hell. There is a couple of people coming off contract that the Bronx could snag.
For sure. And like, again, we did manage to jag a few wins when Payne was injured. Now, let me be clear though, like, Broncos are a much better side with Payne in it. But yeah, that $1 million mark, it'll just smash out cap to smithereens. It really will.
The next one up here, we've got Tyson Gamble. Like, he's now in for you guys this weekend for Ezra. Is that right?
Yep.
Is he? Do you like that change? Do you like seeing the Knights? Would you be happy to see Gamble go in play and keep Ezra?
As in,
it's like if Gamble goes to the Knights, as it's being reported that he's getting an offer here.
yeah, the Gamble one's a really interesting one because I felt like he still had more to offer the squad. Maybe he's not going to be our starting six. Like Mam, although his defence has been struggled the last few weeks, it's pretty clear he's our long-term fucking six. He's incredible. Whereas like Gamble, I don't understand. Surely the Knights aren't offering him that much cash. I would have liked to. I don't know what the inner workings are. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. But I feel like Gamble, although he's not going to be a world beater, he does offer quite a lot. And we did win games when he was playing.
He's got oomph.
He's got a lot of oomph and energy.
Yeah, he does have oomph. Have you?
But I'm happy for Gamble as well because he's got a good deal. He'll probably be not a start. Well, he might even be a starter at night. So good on him.
Have you heard the rumours about the Knights wanting Ponga to play 6 and then picking up our boy Ruben Garrick?
I have heard those rumours, and they're getting a bit louder, to be honest.
I don't like it.
Can I be honest? They're getting too loud for my liking. Way too.
Well,
loud.
the problem for you guys is that Ruben is a great fullback, and he's never going to get paid good money in the wing. Whereas he could probably go and get 400 to 500k as a fullback for the Knights.
Do you know what makes Eddie and I particularly such generous and humble individuals, and as a collective, is that we'd prefer for Ruben to go and get fullback Bicky somewhere else, even if it came at the detriment of the greatest club of all, the Manly Sea Eagles. We'd happily see him go. It'd hurt.
Yep.
But only if he was getting,
cry.
Yeah,
but
that's
only
real
if he
love.
was getting fullback Bicky. If he was getting winger Bicky somewhere else, he'd be like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Well, no. I wouldn't accept that for Ruben. Ruben has this season shown the world that he is a fucking
Fullback Bicky.
elite fullback in the NRL, and he needs fullback Bicky. What I'm interested to see is, do the Knights, who have already fucking dabbled in this before, do they send Ponga up to the 6 role?
I think it's crazy. A bloke that's had issues with head knocks, you're going to make him defend in the front line.
Yeah,
Head knocks
just
and
goes
injuries.
through some work.
It's like, I don't get it. He's an incredible fullback, but he's yet to master that position. Keep him there. I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. So that's where when people say, oh, like, so for example, Bevan French got signed and he can also play fullback. I can't see the Knights going, you know what, let's get Garrick here and we're going to move Ponga to 6. I think that's crazy talk.
Would there be a thought though that you need someone elite to be at first receiver?
Oh, for sure. But you're just kicking the can down the road though, because like, what if he goes there again and it doesn't work out? You still need to go into the market for a half.
And you've just bought a new fullback.
So you've made it even worse for yourself. I just think, I think they just need to be really aggressive in the half positions. So see what happens there. Dragons reportedly looking at Reece Robson, even though they let him go a few years ago. He'd be a great signing, but they let him go, and then they let McGuinness go. So it's like, what the hell?
But also is Reece, I mean, obviously, again, Bicky,
Hasn't he been playing hooker?
yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah, but then Dragons are looking at Reece Robson, but aren't they keeping... Oh, Ben Hunt plays a 6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, is Reece going to want to leave a throbbing North Queensland and go back to a fucking very Dragons-y Dragon side?
Depends what the bickies are.
Well, it's Bicky.
It's
Bicky
all
dictates.
Bicky related.
It's all
Bicky
Bicky based.
dictates. But if it's not much more Bicky,
Well, then you stay.
then you stay.
But if it's more, considerably more Biscuits...
If it's Falau, GWS Bicky,
If you get more...
Suaalii,
Suaalii.
ARU Bicky.
Yeah, that kind of bicky.
Dude, if you get an ARU Bicky, bro, Jesus, they're not much
What
I
kind of
wouldn't do.
bicky do you reckon it is? Are we talking Tim Tams, Monte Carlo?
Have to be a Timmy.
Tim Tams or those Premier cookies. You had those motherfuckers.
yeah.
Well, can I ask you this?
They're the truth.
What's better than a Tim Tam?
There's a difference.
Cookies
because
are.
a Tim Tam isn't a cookie.
It's a biscuit.
Right, and a cookie
It's a
is
bicky.
a cookie. Tim Tam's top of the bicky, and then I think Premier is top of the cookie, or that Bennett Street dairy.
So we were talking Bickies.
True, so it's a Tim Tam.
That's what I was
I reckon choc chip cookies are better than Tim Tams.
It's a cookie though.
Oh, so his cookie is not a biscuit.
Well, it's
Nah, they are. They still are.
Let us know in the
But
comment section. Does cookie land under the biscuit family tree?
I think it does.
They
But I think you
are,
call it a cookie.
Look. Cookies aren't biscuits. That's all I'll say.
But do you have? But you call it a choc chip.
They're siblings, but they're not the same.
You'd call it a choc chip cookie rather than a choc chip bicky. But I think it's
I think it's closer to a Bicky than a Tim Tam. I think Tim Tams are not close to being Bickies
You don't
at
think
all.
Tim Tam's a Bicky?
I mean, I think a cookie's closer to being one than a Tim Tam. I think a Tim Tam's almost as a treat.
No, it's a chocolate biscuit. If I sit down for a nice hot cup of Joe,
Yeah.
and I go nip in and get me a bicky, and you bring me back a cookie, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna question why you brought a cookie out.
Oh, really? Nah, because I'll be like, that's still a Bicky, but it's a cookie.
I think it's closer to being a Bicky, and I think Tim Tams are more just treats, almost like a bar. Like, I know it's not a bar, but it's a treat.
No, it's not a bar. I draw the line at bar. I still
It's a
think
chocolate bar.
It's a Bicky.
There's enough biscuit in it, so
it to be-
it's biscuit with biscuit in between the biscuit, and then it's coated in chocolate.
Yeah. So it's a chocolate Bicky.
It's a chocolate biscuit.
Yeah.
There's just no two ways about it.
you wouldn't
No,
call it
I'm
a
not
chocolate chip
convinced.
Bicky.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that. Like, if I said, can you get me a chocolate chip Bicky, and you brought back a Tim Tam, you'd be like, so can you get me a chocolate Bicky, and I brought back you a Tim Tam, you would be like, that would not make sense.
Oh, see, there I'd be like, okay, he's got me a chocolate Bicky there. But I'd also be more than comfortable to say, grab us a Timmy.
Yeah. Any Timmies?
A Timmy treat.
You got any Timmies?
Timmy treat.
Where do you keep your Timmies?
I don't have Timmys.
If I brought you over a fresh sleeve of Timmies, where do they go?
Just in the cupboard.
Cupboard.
And then in my belly.
Yeah.
You're a cupboard guy?
Yeah. You're a fridge.
Fridge or freezer?
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Or freezer.
Look, I can rock both.
Freezer?
Freezer? That's weird.
Calm down, dude.
Yeah, that's
to calm
almost a
down.
dessert. Then you're
Yeah,
you're
now
having
you're a
dessert.
weird fuck.
That's like ice cream pretty much.
Yeah.
You
basically
can also put them in ice cream.
Yeah, that is
Of
true.
course you crush them up.
Yeah.
The relationship between ice cream and Bickies is beautiful, right?
It's a great relationship.
It's a great relationship.
Tell you what else is? Maltesers and ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
I had it the other day.
Oreos.
It worked its ass off. Fuck yeah, shout out to Maltesers.
What's the best ice cream place? Is it Ben and Jerry's? Is it Cold Rock? Is it Baskin and Robbins? Is it
Cold
New
Rock, I
Zealand?
used to think was because I'd never seen anything like it, but now I think Cold Rock's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Like, don't you dare offer me sour worms in a fucking ice cream, all right? Like, just relax.
As a kid, you
Lollies. No.
Lollies and ice cream can fuck
But when
off.
you're younger, though, they're
I
great.
know, but it's
I haven't
not.
seen a Baskin Robbins for a while.
Oh, they're still there. What I will say is, when Cold Rock first came out, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is that a cold bench that you are chopping stuff
that's
into?"
Yeah. It was revolutionary.
And they chopped it all up, and you go, holy
You
shit,
did it
that's
yourself,
mixed.
didn't you? Or did they do
Nah,
it?
they did
No,
it.
they did it.
They
'Cause
did it.
They had all the
Fuck,
fucking
if you did
all
it,
the
if
tools.
you did it yourself, you'd be doing
that's
these
true,
ones
you'd
and
be
you fucking eat
pounding
it before you
wouldn't
finish.
Yeah, it makes sense.
What ice cream do you have in the freezer?
What ice cream do I have in the freezer?
Connoisseur cookies and cream.
Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah,
Triple caramel chunk.
I usually have some sort of connoisseur in there.
To be honest, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't have any in the fridge because as soon as I get it, I eat it.
Yeah,
and
same.
I have a problem with that.
You know, every
I
time
can't
I open
eat-
the freezer to get my connoisseur out, I think of you and I go, Tom would be sickened as to how long this has been in here for.
I can't help it. And I know
Yeah.
it's there. And I'm like, I need to eat this. This is my rationale to Steph. So I'm like, if we're getting it, we need to eat it tonight. Because otherwise, I'm eating ice cream every night of the week until it's gone. Whereas if we just get rid of it tonight, I feel bad about myself and I won't
For
eat it
once.
for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it actually, we looked it up from a biological.
Perspective.
Yeah, that's actually that's the right call.
it's better just to smash it.
yeah, it's better to smash it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I'm also of the ilk of once you pop, you can't stop when it comes to an ice cream tub.
Yeah.
It's almost when they released it in the big one, I can have less, but because they put you right in that middle
It's the
space of like,
threshold, yeah.
look, this could be a bit smaller, because should I finish it? You get, and also you
How much am I going to leave? What,
Yeah.
like 2 fucking scoops?
Two scoops.
3, 4, 5 scoops?
They do it
What
on
does that
purpose.
happen?
It's like
do
a
it on
box of
purpose.
shapes. I'm
Yeah.
like, you fuckers know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going to do. If you double that, I wouldn't finish it. No way.
No way, and you'd eat less because you're like, it's just a big thing.
But I'm like, this fucking box needs to go now. And it always does.
Fucking hell.
Fucking oath.
The research that's done into retail products is hectic.
Yeah, it'd probably
Crazy.
wig you out as well
Yeah.
if you even realise like the thought, like the size of a connoisseur ice cream where you go, fat cunts will finish this. And then they'll go and get another one.
Do you reckon they walked in? He goes, I've got the perfect size for fat cunt.
Yeah.
And me, being one of them, I do it.
I'm doing
Can't
it.
help myself.
I'm doing it.
Can't help myself. I'm trying to lose weight before I go to Europe because, like,
You're leaving it very late.
I know.
That's all I'll say.
Wait,
bro.
have you tried keto? I can help you out.
You're done with the keto.
No,
you can't
I
use
did
the
it 4
rhetoric anymore.
days. I did it
Literally
4
4
days.
days,
I did
which
4
means that you weren't even in fucking.
Oh, it wasn't even in.
Yeah,
He wasn't in
get it
I'll
in.
tell you what I was in, Rash City. So I gave it up. I have fallen off the wagon since my keto quitting. But what are you doing to try it shred?
No,
You're
I'm not
looking
trying to stretch.
skinnier.
I'm just trying to lose weight. Like, I'm just sick of being bigger. Even when I was ripped and bigger, it's just too heavy for me. I'm a smaller guy.
What do you weigh?
I want to get nimble.
What do you weigh?
I haven't weighed myself in quite a while. But I'm just trying to eat much healthier. I always exercise, but that's more just to clear my head. But I don't want to be fully out of shape when I go to Europe, even though I've only got, 6 weeks left pretty much.
It's habits.
Discipline, habits.
It's discipline. I've never been particularly disciplined.
Neither.
I've
actually been particularly ill-disciplined.
Yeah. in the food intake.
The worst thing is,
I don't go over the top.
I had biltong
eat
for dinner
poorly.
last night.
Yeah.
I literally had fucking packets of biltong. Shout out to bareback biltong.
it's that first 2 week period, because if you get through the first 2 weeks and get the sugar out of your system, I've actually got this theory.
I've never had sugar out of my system.
Neither.
I reckon, and this is going to sound crazy, I reckon in 100 years' time, they're going to look at sugar the same way as they look at cocaine.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Yeah.
it's more addictive.
It's so
Not that
in
I
our
know.
lives now, and it's so bad for us that they'll look back and go, I cannot believe the amount of sugar these humans used to eat.
Everything. It's in everything.
And it's so
Even
bad.
the shit that
And
you
it's
think
addictive.
is healthy. Like, I went through a period where I was just like reading the backs of the things I was
Yeah.
buying.
Bad
And like
idea,
the
bad
things where
idea.
it's like, remember when 50 Cent had vitamin water? You're like, how can you sell me vitamin water
And be full of sugar.
and it be full of sugar? And not just like a little bit, it's like in the like tens of grams
Yeah.
of sugar.
because it makes everything taste better.
I know, that's tough.
Like, put it this way, if you don't think sugar is a crazy, almost crazy drug, try eating no sugar for a week. See how your body feels. You'll feel like shit. But then after that, you feel great.
Mate,
I've never done that.
I get back for a run, and the first thing I crave
Is-
number one, sugar.
Yeah.
We had breakfast
Number one.
before we came on here down at Koo. Shout out to Koo. Also not an ad, but a Premier Cafe. Try the fritters. And the first thing I did after lunch, it probably used to be like when I would have a cigarette. I came up and pounded a Kit Kat Chunky and half a Kinder Bueno. And then a muesli bar.
As soon as you finish a meal, that's like
You get the feeling of it.
if it's after, I don't get the sugar as much in the morning. Like I don't really at all.
Yeah.
No. After lunch, bang, it
I get
kicks
it.
in.
I get it at night.
Fucking boom.
I get it from like
I
midday
get it at
onwards.
night.
Yeah, night.
midday onwards.
As soon as I've had dinner, I'm like dying for dessert.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to rugby league.
Fucking hell.
Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds is going to train. That actually started all with Reece Robson.
And I don't know how.
Josh Reynolds is going to train with the Bulldogs preseason.
Reynolds.
To see where he's at. It's a train and trial
show.
for $1,000 a week. They've just gone.
I thought he'd retired.
No, he went overseas. Just going to blow my nose. Apologies.
That's all right, mate. So your thing's not working?
Got to work on your diet, mate. Got to work on your diet.
So yeah, Gus pretty much confirmed this on.
Sorry, mate. I can't hear you. Tom was making too much noise.
Jesus.
Gus can pretty much confirm this on 100% footy.
I'm so surprised by this. Like, it's smart because he's a veteran. He'll be able to impart knowledge on the young crew. But I love it.
Yeah, I love it as well.
What a great homecoming.
Train and trial, bro.
But he's
train
also
trial.
like the heart and soul of that club.
Yep.
Great dude. I think it's good. I hope he comes back and goes well.
Could you imagine if he comes back and kills it and he becomes their half, one of their
that'd be
halves?
awesome.
That'd
Matty
be-
Burton or something?
That'd be great.
Could he be a bench, like a
14?
utility?
He'd be
Yeah.
14.
He'd be a great 14. Get in there, rip and tear.
Fucking
Bring
hell.
in a
other people.
spark.
Yeah, bit of
you know?
spark.
If Gamble's got oomph, he's got spark.
Yeah, he's got a lot of spark and a lot of like negative oomph in the sense of like he gets dirty.
Like dark matter.
Dark matter. Yeah, he's got a lot of dark matter.
Anti-oomph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
antimatter.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
just some of the shit we talk about. So let's catch it.
So I love it. I love having Reynolds back in the game.
Yeah,
and
same.
I look forward to next year seeing him run out, even if it's around injury time. When
Get him
people
back in the
injure
blue and
Get
white.
him
him
back.
Get him back in the blue and white.
Now, on to the NRL games. We've got the Eels versus the Storm. 1-17, Eels 1-17. Eisenhuth is out. Kofusi returns to the starting side of Storm. Who have we got in this game, gentlemen?
I've got the Eels. I actually just think that I don't know why. I don't trust the Storm. I don't believe the Storm this year. And
Really?
obviously, like, again, they're good, but they're just they're just like a step below where they usually are, I think.
Wow.
I've been looking at it, and I keep going to say the Storm, but there's just something in me that thinks the Eels can get the W.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Eels a premiership threat?
No.
No. But I don't think the Storm are without Pappenhausen.
Really?
No,
Wow.
I do not.
What do you reckon?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going Storm.
Okay.
Storm get
I
a
think it'll
W.
be tight.
Oh yeah.
Storm to get the W. Doggies versus Manly.
Manly.
Dude, this is a fucking Manly fucking hump this one. We like to finish strong. Always have, always will. And I mean, guys, if you don't want to miss this game, get tickets. I've heard they're fucking going. I've heard they're going. They're not giving them away.
No,
I haven't seen any signs saying literally.
I haven't heard
free
any
tickets
signs to that effect either.
No.
Look, this is must-watch rugby league football.
Really sorry about
You're
that.
all over the place
really
today, mate.
sorry about that.
Holy shit.
That's 3. That's almost 3 strikes you're out.
Well, that also went off in our interview with fucking Girdler. Or Dan, sorry. So I apologise to everyone.
And due to our professionalism, people don't realise that he actually walked out of us chatting before. But you won't notice it audio-wise because me and Eddie are professionals.
Well, I
and
went
we
out
and
to
we carry the
fucking
show.
sneeze. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm just letting the people know that people might be like, oh, they're being a bit harsh on Tom, but no, this is actually the third time.
Well, it is the third time.
It's the
this
third
episode.
time.
Yeah, no, it is.
But
It is.
I just wanted to let the people know that we're not being harsh. Tom's
No,
letting
not
everyone
being
down.
harsh. I did, and I do suffer from hay fever, and I had to go.
You were
blow my
literally
nose.
yesterday fucking bragging
That's
about
the problem.
how you'd
Yeah.
bested it.
Sometimes you.
Oh,
come
you
onto-
bragged your best.
Well, I've been doing Nasonex
Rookie era.
preemptive fucking blasting, and then I
Rookie
woke
era.
up today, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh, fuck, I am a beater. That's right.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
But Manly win and win well in front of, I'm hearing sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out a call.
I'm excited to see KO Weeks at fullback.
Interesting because isn't he a half?
And
And I thought Cooler was good at fullback.
Cooler was good at fullback, but I think, give KO a go. It's like, fuck it, Last game of the season.
Shout out to KO, not
Give
an ad.
KO, not an ad, but KO also.
Surely they've got to do a partnership, KO and KO.
With KO Weeks, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Well, it would make sense.
Roosters versus South.
Oh, shit. Radley, Collins, and Tupou out. What's wrong with Tupou?
Injury.
What did Collins do?
Head knock.
Fuck, another one?
Oh, no.
No.
Suspended.
Hip drop.
Oh,
You got
okay.
4 weeks.
Did he? Shit. Pay attention, Tom. I like the Roosters.
I
think the Roosters pump them.
Pump 'em.
Cook
Like,
it
I think
out.
they beat them 13 plus.
I think the Roosters will win.
I thought
Big outs though, huge outs.
South was so unimpressive against the Cowboys, in my opinion.
But they can turn it on, dude.
Of course they can. But it was like when the Cowboys were giving them every chance to turn it on, they weren't really turning it on. So I just feel like the Roosters hump.
Do you think that if the Eels win, or Blues rather, if the Eels win, then the Roosters and South's nothing to play for. Do you think that they rest more players than this?
So just before you answer, teams will be cut to 19 before that game starts. So the maximum they could do is change 2 players.
Okay, nice to know.
Interesting.
I don't think they should be resting. Like, unless you've got some injuries or whatever, I don't think they should be resting players. You've
And is
got to
that
be
like because they're like both in a bit of good form? Like you don't
Yeah.
want to give guys time off when it's like it's only a few games left to go.
and you're starting to finally hit that form.
Yeah.
you know?
Campbell Graham rested for HIA. Well, how would he go back on?
Yeah,
He's been rested.
But
It hasn't been.
I was like,
confirmed
how the
as HIA.
fuck is he back on the field?
Sneaky.
crazy. It does make sense. I am going to go Roosters. I think Roosters get the W. Mm-hmm. Warriors.
Sorry,
Titans.
Matty.
Match of the round,
Titans.
Titans.
Is
This
that-
is a
or-
poo slinger, dude.
But it's at Mount Smart.
Yeah, but Titans are playing for something.
Dude, this is poo sling city, and
Titans
it's an
are playing
opportunity to
something.
just try and get some anytime try scorers.
Warriors have been strong at home the few games they've played there, but the Titans need to avoid the spoon.
I'm going. Well, no, Titans already.
Titans have pretty much avoided the
Yeah, they've
spoon.
avoided the spoon.
Unless it's some ridiculous loss, I think.
what's
I
the
think it's
points difference?
It's shitloads.
I will say on
The
Joel,
Tigers win and they get
They'd have to get pumped, I think.
What is it?
And the Tigers are playing the Raiders.
The Tigers have. Yeah, they'd have to lose literally by 60 points,
right. Okay,
like around 60 points.
So it's very unlikely.
very
I
unlikely.
will say on your interview with Joel Kane, I don't know, like he was pretty subtle, but I noticed this. He said that always tip against teams that are out of contention when they're traveling.
Yeah.
And I had a look. The last 6 have lost.
Yeah, we've been doing it.
Yeah,
we've been following Sugar. He knows what he's talking about.
I'm going Warriors because they're home. They've got a lot to play for. They're home fans. Last game of the season, I'm going Warriors.
I've already tipped the Titans, unfortunately.
Dragons v the Broncos.
Dragons.
I think the Dragons win, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Um,
But like, truthfully, like, sorry about everything's gone this year.
We'll see. Like, this Sugar. Here's his theory. Broncos. Oh, they've got something to play for.
No, Broncos haven't won at Cogra since 1998.
yeah, I'm going Broncos. Cowboys, Panthers.
Cowboys.
Cows.
I'd be shocked if they don't win.
And win well.
Mate.
Yeah, they got to win well. If they don't win well, you're like, fuck, we're not on here.
How many fucking players did they replace?
13.
13. There you go.
Knights versus Sharks.
Oh my God,
dude! 4, you're out.
4. Kick me off the show. I don't know
Holy
what.
Put it on
shit.
fucking side.
I don't know why.
How do you not know how to use your phone?
I don't know what it is.
It's supposed to be a part of the content cartel, and you don't even know how to
Dude,
use your
I'm
phone.
sorry.
It goes off and he just checks Instagram and puts it back
Yeah,
in.
I'm
it's like, what's
sorry.
everyone doing? You message someone like, "What are you up to?" Middle of the show. Knights versus Sharks.
Sharks.
Sharkies for sure.
Raiders, Tigers.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Another great humpy all time.
Yeah.
You got anything coming up?
SEN tonight.
Yep,
Spoken
Dan
about it
Gane,
before.
8 p.m. tonight, SEN app. It'll be on all of our channels, the extended version on Sunday.
That's right. Dior hoodies still for sale. Hollersport.shop. And that about does it.
Make sure Bloke jerseys dropping 6 p.m. tonight. Grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, the best beer in all the land. As usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.